Hello everybody, welcome in. How is everyone doing today? It's Sunday, and you all know what that means. That means we have a full afternoon and evening full of live sim racing action, and it doesn't get any better than Pure Racing League. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our GT3 series. We got 3 1-hour endurance races for everybody, and we're going to start with Division 3. Now, Division 3 has popped off all season long. They always kick these races off. They give us a great show. They give us an absolute fantastic finish every single racing round. And that just sets up the day for Division 2 and Division 1. It is round 4. We're at St. Croix B, as you can see on the screen in front of us. So welcome in, everybody. We are here on behalf of Pure Racing League, and I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Welcome in over Unique on Kick. We appreciate you for that follow over there on Kick as well. Welcome into the channel, and hello to everybody over on Facebook and YouTube. Steve and Leo coming in with those reactions on the channel. We appreciate you all. All right, so the deal here today, ladies and gentlemen, is GT3 Racing, our car, the Group 3 Lexus. So a little bit of information about this car for everybody. It is the 2017 Lexus RCF GT3 Edition race car. It is a front-engine rear-wheel drive car. It has a max power of 535 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. Has a max torque of 542 foot-pounds of torque at 4,500 RPM, and has a curb weight of 2,866 pounds, 1,303 kilograms. And it is a naturally aspirated engine. So what that means, no turbo, no supercharger, it's all motor, ladies and gentlemen. So with the BOP applied here today, our car is going to be running at 498 of the available 535 horsepower. The curb weight's going to stay the same. The torque's going to stay relatively the same. And the drivers are going to be required to do 25 laps around this absolutely beautiful racetrack. All right, so St. Croix B, ladies and gentlemen, is a large track. It is a fictional racetrack here in Gran Turismo 7. We got Nolander coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. Appreciate you, my guy. Good luck today. And I'm just bringing up my cheat sheet, so bear with me here for just a moment, so I can give you a little bit of information about this amazing racetrack. So again, this is a fictional racetrack, so it's developed by Polyphony Digital and Gran Turismo 7. And it's a fun racetrack. This is going to provide for really fantastic racing today. It is an extremely wide racetrack all the way around this circuit, and you can go 3-4 wide in a lot of spots in this racetrack, so we should see some really good action here today. It is a 4.34 mile track, 7.08 kilometers, has 14 left and right hand turns. It is a tarmac road surface. Its original circuit, meaning it's developed by Gran Turismo, and has an elevation change of 144 feet. Do not ask me how our special operations administrator gets the information for these fictional racetracks, but she is an absolute all-star. And huge credit to Ms. Devious for the amazing work on the track maps. We will come back to this at some point throughout the broadcast, talk a little bit more about St. Croix B. But in the meantime, let's continue talking about what we have in store for ourselves here tonight. We got about 8 minutes to qualify. All right, well, that's a lot to talk about. All right, so the drivers are going to be required to use the Racing Hard, the Racing Medium, and the Racing Soft tires here. And this is going to be interesting for strategy because this is a large racetrack. These cars are going to be running full out, so they're going to be burning some fuel here around St. Croix B. So it's going to be hard to say if fuel is going to factor in here. We have seen a lot of interesting two-stop style strategies here so far this season, and I don't suspect we're going to see anything different here today. So we have drivers on track. They're practicing right now. We're not going to bring that up to everybody because we don't want everybody to see the boring stuff behind the scenes. So we're going to hang out with the chat. We're going to talk to everybody here for a few minutes. We are super on time today. That never happens to start with. And let's have some fun today. We got about 4 hours of live racing for everybody here today. So it is going to be a pretty epic day of racing. I mean, what else can we say? All right, I'm just checking through the streams, making sure we're running good everywhere. We were having a little bit of issues yesterday, but it seems to be kicking today. And that's because it loves Pure Racing League. I mean, what else can I say? All right, so let's get moving. Let's get grooving. Thomas, how's it going, my dude? Time killer this track, tire killer this track, absolutely. The drivers are going to be in for it here. Again, this is a high-speed circuit, so the drivers are really going to be full sending. There are technical sectors here at St. Croix B, but it requires rhythm, and that rhythm needs to be maintained at a very moderate or insane amount of speed as a regular person would see it as. I mean, these drivers are taking most of these corners at 100+ miles per hour. There's a few hard braking zones in this track where you see the drivers dip below 100 mile an hour, but for the most part, the cars are averaging about 100 miles an hour around this racetrack. So it is a fairly wide open and just send it kind of style racetrack. We're going to see great racing here today. Tim Connolly, been a while. Hope you're doing awesome, Tim. Hey, my dude, Tim, my guy. We need to hook up on Discord. DM me, man. I still want to talk to you further about what we were discussing a little while back as well. Had a chat with the team, and we're all for it. So we need to catch up soon, my guy. Is Grill ready? Hey, appreciate you. Good luck tonight, Nolander. Just gonna send it. That's right. Just gonna send it. We got everybody coming in smashing those live reactions. We got 500 star bomb coming from Tim Connolly up in the Facebook chat as well. Let's get a hashtag Tim up in the chats for that 500 star bomb. Much love, my dude. Really appreciate that extra support. All right, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Kick, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, you heard me right. We are over on the Green site here now. This is our third stream on the Green site. So we're trying to bring some great family-friendly content over to Kick there. We know that they are a very pro PG style platform, and I think that the sim racing content will fit very well over at Kick. So if you're a Kick user, do me a favor, go smash that follow over there. Let's get that channel built up over there. Let's get this thing making some money. Shall we? Money means upgrades. Upgrades means better content. That's what we're looking for here. Hey, appreciate you, Nicholas. Appreciate you, my guy. Richard Walk coming in with the thumbs up. We got Nicholas coming in with the thumbs up. We better go check in on these absolute legends over here today. We got Nolander with the multiple shares today. We got Tim with the star bomb. We got Nolander with the care. Just killing it today, everybody. Don't Milan coming in, or Max, sorry, coming in with the heart as well. Do not forget to like and share this out for us, ladies and gentlemen. These are our Gran Turismo 7 royalty here in this series. In Division 1, we're going to see lots of familiar faces in the Gran Turismo 7 world. We have several of our Gran Turismo World Series drivers participating in Pure Racing League here this season, and that means that we're going to see these guys fighting it out for fun for you guys and gals at home or at work or wherever it is that you're tuning in from today, and putting on a show for the community. Giving back to the sim racing community is our GT7 World Tour drivers. We love to see it, and we super appreciate them for it. And they have put on an incredible series here so far in Season 2. Season 1 was a blast with that McLaren 650S, but this Lexus series has just been a step above last season. We had the competition has very, very stiffened up. It's very competitive no matter which division you're in. It's a pro style division. The drivers here are fast, they're efficient, and they're incredibly clean, and they make for great racing. So Division 3 always sends it off at the beginning of the week. Always. So it's going to be rocking time. We are getting very close. We're 2 minutes away here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes from seeing an amazing race here at St. Croix B, ×3, that is. So don't run away. Get your seats ready. Make sure those refreshments are definitely refreshed. My coffee's in hand in the booth here, and we got to back up. It's going to be a long day in the booth, and we are gonna have some fun. So, I mean, hang in there, everybody, because I know everybody looks forward to that top division, that premier division, but I gotta tell you, Div 3 and Div 2, no joke. GT45 Gaming on Kick, you betcha, Nolander. Appreciate you, my dude. You know, and all we're trying to do is, obviously, a little bit of the page being self-sufficient, essentially for financial wise. I mean, the page has a little bit of cost that's incurred with streaming, so we'd like it to maintain itself. So we're just trying to build up a bunch of platforms, but really the big thing is we're just trying to build a bigger community, because we have big plans this year for charity drives, charity events. We have some real life content we're trying to put together. Appreciate you, Thomas, for that sub over on the YouTube channel as well, my guy. Absolutely killing it. We are looking for that 500 push on YouTube as well, so definitely get that YouTube channel pushed out, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube is the new home for GT45 Gaming here moving forward. Facebook is changing their platform, so we're adapting to their changes, and that means YouTube is going to become the main home here for GT45 Gaming. So Facebook viewers, that means you got to go hit the YouTube channel at GT45 Gaming, baby. And we'll have the content, the sim racing content, still over on Facebook when we're doing our races, but everything else is going to stick to YouTube and our Kick platform. And we are going PG here at GT45 Gaming as well. So a lot of big changes happening here at the page, and we are creating a variety channel for our adult content, our 18 plus content, our extracurricular video games that we play and all that stuff. So needless to say, sidetracking here. I'm not used to being on this early. I didn't have enough ammo. All right, I'm just hanging out with the chat. We're really enjoying our time back here on the page now that we're back up after our technical malfunction. So we're just really excited. All right, so qualifying is starting. Are you ready, folks? I'm ready. I am so ready. Appreciate that sub, Nicholas. Appreciate that sub, my dude. For real, my guy. You guys are legends, all of you. Everybody that's liked and shared already today, too. Appreciate that support. It's because of you guys that we continue to grow, and we continue to get more people growing. We continue to grow this community. We continue to find more great racers. It's all because of you guys and gals out there watching at home or at work or wherever it is you're hanging out with us. All right, so TTJ Set is going to lead us out here in division number 3. He's got what looks to be Egon in behind, and Raya's in third place. Let's get through that field here. So we got 3 of the 10 tenths drivers all up in the front here in qualifying. We've got Team Rad's Petrolhead here in 4th place. We've got Lone Wolf Racing, defending champion here in Division 3. In 5th place, we got SoCal here in 6th position. We've got Team Rad's Nolander here in 7th place. And Team Owner, we've got Toombox, our current championship points leader, in 8th place. And Black Rider hasn't quite come out to start his qualifying yet. We are missing a couple of drivers here today. We're seeing these Lexuses take a beating here so far throughout the series, and some of these cars just aren't quite getting out of the paddock here. Certain race weeks, cars take a beating. They require nonstop maintenance. These teams basically break these cars down and rebuild them pretty much in between every race in real life. There's lots of things that need to be changed. These guys, they drive these things hard and they put them away wet, so to speak. So they really work these cars hard, and it takes a huge team in behind the driver behind the wheel of these cars to keep these things going from week to week as well. So some of these cars just not able to get out on the track here today, but that is not going to take away from the fact we're going to have a great race here from Division 3 today. So it is TTJ Set. We got Rise Jr. and Egon here for 2nd and 3rd out in qualifying. We got Lone Wolf Racing and SoCal here, and they're just kind of creating space for each other here. So we got, what is that, Nolander there. He is moving and grooving. Nolander knows this track very, very well. So he is going to be one of those drivers we need to be keeping our eye on here today. I know this driver very, very well. He's a personal friend of mine. I'm sure he's live as well right now. So a bunch of the drivers do stream their POVs. If you want to check it out from other drivers' POVs, I'll do my best to send you in the right direction. Nolander is a Nolander Gaming over on Facebook, and Reyes Jr. may also be streaming over on YouTube as TT Reyes Jr. on YouTube as well. So I don't know for sure if any of the other drivers stream, but I know that 2 of those guys are probably live streaming their POV right now. So if you want to check it out from a different perspective, head on over to their channels and check them out as well, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the love here in the sim racing community this weekend. So let's grow. I mean, what else can we say? But it is now official qualifying. So that was the outlap. The drivers have warmed their tires up. Tire temperature matters in GT7. There's a big debate about that, but if you use Sim Dashboard, it's a third-party app. It connects with your PlayStation account, and if you turn it on when you're in a lobby like this, it'll start to tell you that you put your tire temperatures on. You will see those tire temperatures increase, and it gets to an optimal point. And you can set that up. You can set that in the dashboard, and it lets you know. Ooh, and Reyes clipped that wall there. That is going to hurt his lap time a little bit there. That could have been neck coating as well. We've seen there. It may have very well have been, but it looked like he definitely smoked that wall coming into the bridge hill here. So heading into this left-hander now. And then we come downhill into a very high speed, very elongated right-hand hairpin. And then that takes us into a long straightaway. And you can see this track is so wide, it is so flowing that it's just, these drivers are spending a lot more time on the loud pedal than they are on the slow down pedal, that's for sure. So with that being said, you guys have no game sound, I bet. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, there we go. I keep it turned off in the other screen just so it's not so distracting. I apologize, but that's all right. Okay, now we've got the experience moving here. Appreciate you, Nolan, for that follow over on the Kick channel as well, my dude. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. This is qualifying as the first lap, so we're gonna get to our fancy dancy keyboard here so we can get all the good stuff here. So we got Rise and Jay here in for a second. Egon's lost touch with the two guys here a little bit. Now these two drivers are very equally paced. I can definitely attest to that. So it should be interesting to see what's gonna happen here coming into the final corner. So we're just playing nice here. We got a little bit of clean air getting into Rise's front end there, and up out of the final corner here is going to be J-Set, and Rise nose to tail coming through the start finish line here. So let's see what it is. All right, Rise is going to take pole position there because he was the driver in slipstream. That doesn't surprise me. Egon is going to sit in third. Nolander is going to take pole away. These guys are ripping through quick here. We got Toombox coming up next. He is our championship points leader here coming into round number 4. He's going to take that pole position away, and Rad Petrolhead is going to take it away from him. So it is game on. So it is Rad Petrolhead here currently sitting in pole with a 207.6. We got Toombox with a 207. Wow. They are literally separated by 0.6 of a second there. That was very close. We got SoCal in third place with a 207.672. 208.525. I'm looking at the fastest lap. Don't mind me. Lone Wolf Racing here in fourth place with a 208.8. We've got Nolander there in fifth with a 209.5. Reyes with a 209.7. Jay with a 209.9. Egon with a 215.3. So he definitely made a mistake in that lap. And Black Rider's on his out lap here. So, all right, let's get back to Reyes and J-Set, as they will be the first two guys to go around there. I'm not sure if there's a little bit of contact there qualifying, but it looked like Jay made a little mistake there, and Rise just went to go up the inside there, and I think he just pushed it a little wide. I'm not sure. Again, neck coating, a little bit of neck coating happening here in the lobby, so it is really hard to say bug on the track, making it not count time before you go past the finish line 3 times. Yeah, I mean, the game is, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. There's timing glitch in the game. We're dealing with that right now, so I'm qualifying for my championship series. I've just dropped in my server recently here as well, so we're definitely dealing with those issues here. It's qualifying one weekend of 1 of 2 actually right now for my series as well, so I definitely feel the timing issues. But that's all right. The game is tracking it properly. It's just not displaying it properly. Big slide there from Reyes as he comes down around to set up into Jay's corner here, and coming around the final corner here. We're calling this Jay's corner. There's a backstory behind that, and we'll talk about that another day. But I assure you, the driver that it involves will laugh when he hears this later. I hope. All right, so Rise jumps up into 4th place. Jay sits in 8th place. Petrolhead is in pole position still. It hasn't been taken. Lone Wolf Racing jumps up into 2nd place above everybody. Toombox moves up into 4th because he hasn't come across the line yet. Where is everybody here? I'm just trying. Toombox is... big slide there for Reyes. We got Egon here. He's currently sitting up into 6th place. We got Nolander here in 7th. We got Jay in 8th. And he's got some wide open racetrack and some clean air here now, so we can just take a breather and send it. So it's 10 minutes qualifying here for Division 3 and 2. And then Division 1 gets a 5-minute qualifier. So essentially a 2-lap shot qualifier for the drivers in Div 1 most of the time. This track might only be a 1-shot, but it's hard to say. It's a 2-minute, just under 2:10 laps, so hard to say. Depends when they cross that finish line. Alright, so Petrolhead is our current pole sitter. Let us find that group right there. Alright, so this will be our next driver to cross the start finish line. He is improving on his best time of a 208.5. At the current pole time is a 207.672, so he is 9/10 of a second off pole, or at the moment. He was 0.452 seconds up at that last live timing sector. That puts him just about at a 208 flat if he can maintain that pace around the track or continue to improve that pace. So we'll have to wait and see. I believe he is in the top 3 in the championship point standings, but I could be wrong. I'll have to take a look at the standings here in a moment when I have a moment to take a peek at them. Alright, so I think it's this in behind him here next, and it is an improvement. It's good enough there for looks like 3rd place. So we got Nolander coming through. It goes him up into 5th place. Jay comes through, stays in 8th place. Egon comes through, stays just ahead of him there in 7th position. Who is next? So we got Petrolhead coming through. Does he improve that pole position? No, he does not. We've got Lone Wolf Racing. Does he get pole position? No, he does not. He had a bad lap there, 14 seconds down. Where is SoCal here? Alright, I think we have a couple of drivers still coming around here. We have Toonbox coming around here. I'm trying to find that blue arrow right there, Black Rider. Alright, so this will be, I think, his first lap, second lap? I'm not sure. We have the timing issue here, so. Alright, so it is Toonbox here. We'll sit with Toonbox here for a minute now. He hasn't, I don't think, had an exact opportunity to get a good flying lap here. I think he was really trying to space himself out away from the pack there. You can see he was sitting on track for a few moments there, letting the traffic go through, and then he kind of got himself sorted back out and got moving again. So that was a 2:07.9 last time through there. So it showed that. Well, that's what it's showing me anyway. So that's not necessarily what we're seeing. 2:10.5. So yeah, we do have the timing glitch here. So for those that are watching, if you have a timing glitch issue in the lobby and it's important that you can see the live timing, you just got to switch to another car on track and then go back to that car, and it shows you the accurate time. It's just a weird thing, but that's how you figure that out for those of us that are wondering. Alright, so Petrolhead is our pole sitter here. We got Reyes in 3rd. He'll be our first driver to complete qualifying here, and then we'll try to stay with that backpack there. Everybody's a little bit mixed up here now, so it's a little tough to figure out who's who, but we'll continue to do our best here. The production crew is working hard in behind the scenes. So it is Reyes here. He is moving, he is grooving, and he's just heading up in through Jay's corner here right now. And what's he got in the tank there? It's a 2. Good enough for 2nd place there. And again, you know, that live timing issue. It was a 2:07.9 from Reyes there. So I think Nolander made a mistake. Nobody else has improved their laps. Petrol does improve the pole time. It's a 2:07.5 now. Let's see what Lone Wolf Racing has. And he's only 3/1000ths behind Reyes. He does not find an improvement there. There we go. We got Nolander coming through. It doesn't look like that's going to be improvement, though. Nope. We're going to just keep going on here. Toonbox is on his final lap here. SoCal on his. No, he's now finished up. Nolander's finished up. Egon is finished. Jay is finished. So I think it's just Black Rider and Toonbox, and it is, and they're actually right in front of each other here. So. Alright, so we got Black Rider coming around at Jay's corner here for the final time, and Toonbox right in behind there as well. He was thinking about using a little bit of slipstream there, but Black Rider's just trying to give the distance there, give the space. So Toonbox was in 6th. Let's see if he moves his position here. We're going to sit with Black Rider. And what was that there? 2:13.2 for Black Rider. So again, he's one of our newer drivers here. He's still learning too as well. But you know what? He's doing much better this season than he did last season, and his improvement is most certainly showing. So we love to see him out every week, giving it his all. And you know, every race he's learning a little bit more, and he's picking a lot up. So it's just a matter of time before this driver is fighting furiously with the rest of these guys as well. So you know, it is open to all skill levels. These leagues, these events, is open for the general sim racing community, and it's good stuff. It really makes for some good racing. So we're going to flip it over to the other screen here for a minute, and we'll let race control get that all ready to go. And once we are lined up, we'll flip it back to the big screen. So it is Rad Petrolhead in pole position. It's Reyes Jr. in 2nd. It's Lone Wolf Racing in 3rd place. SoCal in 4th. Row 3 will be Rad Nolander and Toonbox. Row 3. Row 4 will be TT's Egon and TT J Set. And finishing off the field here today will be the Black Rider. All right, so turn one has a little bit of room. So turn one shouldn't be hopefully too much of an issue for the drivers here today. There's lots of room in turn one that you really essentially go 3 wide. It's the exit that causes the issue on turn one. It's going to be turn 2 and moving down through the downhill S's in towards Bridge Hill. That's really going to be, I think, the bottleneck spot in the early parts of the race here. That's kind of what's going to sort these drivers out in their positions, I think. And then by the time we get to the end of the first lap, we're going to kind of have a definition of who is sitting where, and then I think we're going to see the race settle in and watch those battles ensue. I think we're going to see a lot of slipstreaming and bump drafting here today. This is a very big, wide, long, high-speed track. It is going to be beneficial, I think, to work together than to try and work on your own, unless you just got the absolute sheer pace on the field, I suppose. So it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers work out the race today. And it's a tough race. It's a tough race. We will not see rain. This is a set of weather for these drivers. It's very nice conditions out here on the racetrack today in the countryside in France. So enjoy our great race here from Division 3 at St. Croix B. It looks like race control is just doing their track check, making sure the track doesn't have any debris or anything sitting on it before race time. And it looks like we're getting ready to line these drivers up in their starting positions. Good luck, says Leo. Hey, appreciate y'all. All right, we're going to do a quick stream check. Everything looks like it's running really good. That's fantastic. All right. Everything is running great. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready. Ooh, little lag. Little lag. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to go racing, pure racing league style. Round 4 of 6. This is our chase to the championship here. So let's see if Toonbox can secure a bigger points lead here today. And we're green. Kick them tires, light them fires. We're racing, folks. And our pole sitter gets a nice, good race start there. He's going to settle in front of the pack here. We're 2 and 3 deep here and behind first and second place here as we head into turn number 1. We are 3 wide coming out here with Lone Wolf Racing, Nolander, Egon, and Toonbox. And they get through nice and tidy. Again, like I said, very wide racing track here. So not surprised to see that went very well. So it is Petrolhead and Reyes heading into turn number 3. And a big slide there for Petrolhead, but he gets it back under control. Again, these racing tires are cold right now, and these drivers may be on different compounds of tires, so this is going to be interesting. Got SoCal here in 3rd place. We got Lone Wolf Racing in 4th. Toonbox up a spot into 5th place. We've got Egon in 6th. We've got Nolander down a couple into 7th. We got Jay sitting right where he started in 8th, and we got Black Rider here in 9th position. So it is Petrolhead here leading the charge up the bridge, and we missed Bridge Hill for the first time there. Did everybody make Bridge Hill? Everybody made Bridge Hill. All right, we got a great clean race start here in Division 3 today. Let's get going. So it is Petrolhead leading the charge here on lap 1. He is our pole sitter, so we got a good clean hole shot start there today, and that was a very patient racing start by our drivers here, but Reyes Jr. getting the job done there, coming out down through the left-hander into the right-hand sweeping king. There's turn names here. I just don't have them locked in yet. We'll get to that eventually here, so let's go take a look at that there. Just on exit, got the power down real good, tucks himself up inside, gets the job done. Quick, clean, efficient pass right there, and he's now our race leader. So Petrolhead now finds himself sitting right in behind in 2nd place. SoCal still sitting right there in 3rd, just in the slipstream range. We got Toonbox right there now up at the 4th place, and boy, this guy's not messing around today. He is moving up positions, already up to Lone Wolf Racing, down a couple positions here at the beginning of the race. Egon sitting in 6th place, tucked right in behind that pack. Nolander starting to gain back on the main pack here. Jay set in behind. He's got about 8/10 of a second in behind Nolander, and Black Rider just in behind him. So the whole pack pretty tight together here at the end of lap number 1. Love to see that. Ooh, a little bit of contact there from Petrolhead coming out of Jay's corner, and boy, that is such a high-speed corner. It is so easy to do here, and we are moving and grooving here at St. Croix B. Lap 1 of 25 in the books. let's get racing. So it is Arias here leading the charge as Petrolhead here in second position. We got SoCal moving here in third place. We got Toonbox right in behind, and he is kind of starting to look already at getting around and making another early gain here. Let's see if he does it under braking. He takes a look, but great respect showing right there. He gives that turn into SoCal, and he just settles in behind for the time being. So this has become now a four-way battle through third to sixth place. Let's stick with it. We got SoCal doing a great job. Now, he's a great driver from Flying Fox Racing. He can definitely handle the pressure here. It's going to be coming down to whether or not a driver opens up at Apex or makes a mistake, or Bridge Hill separates the boys from the men sometimes here as well. But everybody made it through there nice and tidy. Dirty air is a major factor in these cars. These cars punch a pretty big hole in the air, and that means that the front ends can get really light under braking and into cornering when you're tucked in nose to tail like this. So these drivers are doing a fantastic job maintaining that. And ooh, two of those guys sideways coming on exit, trying to get that power down, and unfortunately that's not going to help them break away from the two cars in behind. Egon takes a peek up the inside. He gets a great launch through the corner there. Great respect shown by him and Lone Wolf Racing, and we're side by side here between these two. This is a battle for fifth and sixth place right now, and these cars they cannot pass each other in these high speed straights. You really got to use that slipstream to your advantage there, and Egon is a VR driver here as well, so he sees things a little bit differently than the rest of the field here, and he's going to take a look up the inside here, coming into the right hand corner. Can't talk right now, and he's going to get the job done. So good battle there between Egon and Lone Wolf Racing, and I'm sure that this battle is far from over here between these two yet today. So Egon now settles in behind Toonbox there in fourth place, and boy, this is a juicy fight right here in this second pack. That has allowed, however, SoCal just to break free a little bit here. He's opened up about a 2.5 car length gap here on Toonbox, and you can see the front two are just right there. Whoo, Egon gets it a little bit spicy out of the exit there, Jay's corner, and he goes for a little maneuver way out the outside of the track there, and gathers that car up. So thankfully, again, that wide racing track, it really does give these drivers room to make those mistakes and still keep everything moving in the right direction. And that was a great example of it right there. So now we got a battle between Lone Wolf Racing and Toonbox for tire to tire here, coming around turn number one as we head into turn two here, setting up for turn number three. Toonbox does have that inside position, should be looking to get the pass done here, coming up the left-hander here, and trying to get the power down as Lone Wolf there. They both kind of give it a little bit wiggle there, and these two pushing really hard, and they've swapped positions with the back two that we're chasing. So now it's SoCal in third, Egon in fourth, Toonbox in fifth, and Lone Wolf Racing in sixth place. So a few positions being swapped there in that little bit of an exchange here on lap number three, but we are going to see that quite a bit here today. We're going to see positions change like that, especially at the nature of the track. Slipstream and bump drafting is going to play a factor here, but right now we do have Rise Jr. Starting to clear the field here. He's got 1.6 second gap over Team Rad's Petrolhead, and these two are very quick here today, it seems. SoCal in third place here. He is looking for a beauty of a race here today. He's had a tough season here, and he's definitely going to be looking for a great result here today, but right now he's got himself in good position so far on the racetrack. He does have that pack still right there chasing him though, and everybody within about half a second of each other at the moment. We're all kind of playing nice right now, and I think that they realize that all that heavy battling is probably hurting them with that front two right now. The front two is starting to kind of break away, so if they really want to stay in touch with first and second place right now, they kind of need to start to play nice. But Egon's like, nah, you know what? I want third place. Oh, I'm going to make an inside move here. Great pass right there by Egon on SoCal. Toonbox is going to try and take advantage of that. Now he's going to tuck right up in there as well, and Egon finds himself sitting now on the podium here. So here we go, Toonbox tucked right underneath SoCal, and that's kind of opened him up a little bit there. Lone Wolf Racing's going to say thank you very much for cracking the door open. I'm going to try and take a little run through there, and unfortunately put him on the outside in the Jay's corner here, and that is going to make a tough pass on the outside, but he's looking for the cutback there. Good exit there from Toonbox, and a great defensive response right there. This is some great battling right here in the third, fourth, fifth, and the sixth position still here on this racetrack, and boy, we know where the action's at today, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go, and he's going to take a look again, Lone Wolf Racing, up the inside of Toonbox here, and oh man, this is too much fun. Let's get on board with our sixth place driver here. He is really giving Toonbox the gears here, really just right up on the rear bumper of Toonbox right there, and just taking a little look here. Wrong button. You see there's no pressure immediately in behind there, so the battle is right here. So he can really focus in on making the attack here on Toonbox right now, and this is great for Egon and SoCal up in front right now, because every time these two attempt a position change here, that's allowing those two up front who aren't currently battling just to continue to drive up the racetrack without being held up, you know, a tenth and 2/10 here, 2/10 there. It makes a big difference in the grand scheme of things, but that was a great sector right there by Toonbox and Lone Wolf Racing. And for Lone Wolf Racing there, he's just a little bit on the back foot here. Let's see what happens when they're braking. SoCal making a response there on Egon here. Let's jump on with that. Trying to get the job done up the inside there. Egon with a great exit there and has a good response, defending the position for the time being. And boy, we have great battles happening right here. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. First and second just up ahead there as well. They're not too far away yet. They can still see them. But again, they can't battle too much here. They're going to allow first and second to really pull away here. So let's see what SoCal does here. Oh, Egon just went to go make his turn in there. I think SoCal might have been thinking about taking a look through the kink there. I'm not sure. It was hard to tell from this angle, but again, just playing nice right now. But you can see, I mean, that pressure is starting to come back here on the back end. So SoCal is in a tough spot here. He has a decision to make. He can either attack and battle with Egon. He can tuck in underneath, start pushing him, try to break free of the two in behind, and hope they battle a couple more times and let that gap open up a little bit, or potentially be at the mercy of Toonbox and Lone Wolf Racing coming in behind. So tough spot right now, tough decision for SoCal at the moment. Toonbox taking a look up the inside here of Lone Wolf, and those two are just fighting it out there. So our top six on the same straightaway here, still on lap number 5. Pardon me, got the hiccups here a little bit. I'm trying to keep them under wraps, you know. So it is Rise Jr. here, 3-second lead over Team Rad's Petrolhead here. He's got 4.2 seconds over third place driver Egon. Egon's got about 3/4 of a second over SoCal right now, and they have just broken that slipstream from Lone Wolf Racing and Toonbox here for the time being. So everybody's kind of starting to play nice now. Lone Wolf Racing getting around Toonbox. Toonbox getting out in the grass there a little bit, but he does a great job of keeping it underneath him. So we got Rad's Nolander here in 7th position, and he's 6 seconds in behind Toonbox. I'm not sure what happened to him there in that race. He had a great race start. We got Black Rider here in 8th position, and we've got J-Set here in 9th place. I think we've seen an early pit stop there from a couple of the drivers. I'm not really sure, but I guess we're going to find out here. I didn't see what everybody was starting at. I wasn't really paying attention to that because it's kind of blocked by my rig right now. So I guess I could look on my streaming screen. That would probably tell me a story, wouldn't it? Alright, so Rise here in the lead, and he's opening that lead up over Petrolhead. Egon here is in 3rd place, and he's almost got the toe broken to SoCal here. He's currently got it opened up to 8/10 of a second, so he's gained about a 1/10 of a second here halfway around the racetrack at the moment here. And you can see that these two have broken clear of Lone Wolf Racing and Toonbox in behind. Again, just that insistent battling from those two in behind hasn't cost him a ton of time, but it's cost him enough time to not be in the slipstream of the front two ahead of him here. But now Egon's starting to pace out a little bit here, and he's starting to try and open up that gap on SoCal, and he does have it up to a second here now, so he has put SoCal right on the edge of slipstream here. Lone Wolf Racing in 5th place. He's starting to try and open that gap up on Toonbox, and Toonbox is really pushing hard here today. He is really driving that car hard in this first stint here. You can tell just by the attitude of this Lexus here. He's really forcing all the corners. He's eating a little bit of grass in this race car. He is really pushing hard here today, and I think if he just dials it back a little tick, it gets into that rhythm, that's when he becomes dangerous. So I think he's just slightly overdriving the car currently right now. We'll see if he can just calm down and get into his rhythm here. That's what I think. It looks like he's overdriving his car here. Sorry, my phone usually doesn't go off that many times during a live broadcast unless it's very, very important. So if I had to take a moment just to make sure that there wasn't something that I needed immediate attention to there, maybe it was a race official. trying to message me, but we're all good. So I apologize for the little break in the stream there for a second. All right, so it is Rise. He's still leading the charge here, 4.5 seconds. We got Petrolhead here in second position. We've got Egon up into third place here with SoCal. Close up that gap here a little bit, so he is right back in that slipstream. And you know, right now it's just showing how equally paced these drivers are. They give a little, they take a little right now, and it's kept them very close together here. The second pack, the second group of drivers has been just absolutely close together. And Toonbox now in a position to attack Lone Wolf Racing here. He gets a good run out of the corner. He tucks in behind, but unfortunately he didn't use that slipstream quite enough yet to get the job done. So he's got to settle back in behind Lone Wolf Racing here and wait for another opportunity. Maybe he's working together with Lone Wolf here. Maybe he's just trying to get some clean air into that racing car is what we're seeing here. Ooh, big slide there from Toonbox, and he keeps that car underneath of him again. Wow, that was a great save right there from Toonbox, and that Lexus just not quite feeling right here maybe today for Toonbox there. Maybe something just a little bit off in the setup of this car, it's really giving him some gears here. But we do have a battle for third place. SoCal taking a peek up into the final corner there, and wow, that was an interesting exchange there as Egon's diving into pit lane here. We got Raya's coming into pit lane as well, so Team Rad's Petrolhead here stays out, takes the race lead back. So this is our second lead change of the day and our second race leader here of the day. Now Petrolhead did lead the race at the beginning from pole position. Reyes Jr. took that away from him on lap 2 or 3 and has been leading the race since until that pit stop. So we have SoCal now up into second. We have Lone Wolf up into third and Toonbox now up into fourth position. Reyes comes out of pit lane in fifth place. We've got Nolander here in sixth position. We've got Egon coming out. He's in seventh. We got Black Rider in eighth. And we've got TT's J-Set here in ninth, and I really feel like he made an early pit stop, but I'm not sure. We just didn't see it if that was the case. So it is Petrolhead now, 4.2 seconds ahead of SoCal, so not a huge gap. I mean, 4 seconds is a cushion for sure, but it's not where you can just take a deep breath and just kind of chill and run the rest of your race. That is a gap that can be closed up and very quickly before you know it if you make a couple little mistakes. So he's got to stay on point here. He's got to keep that pace up so he can continue that 4-second gap, because we don't know what's going to happen in pit lane yet either. Positions can be changed in pit lane quite easily depending on fuel. So we got Rise here in fourth place. We got Toonbox up into fifth. We have Nolander in behind in sixth. I feel like Toonbox may have made a mistake there. We have Egon in seventh position. Jay and Black Rider here in eighth and ninth. And I think Jay said just made a pass on Black Rider there. Let's go see if we can see that back. Coming out of Bridge Hill, gets a good exit there and takes it up on the outside. A little bit of tire contact there between the two, but hey, that's just tight quarter racing. That's the way it goes. And just a nice, quick, easy little pass there. He gets it down on the throttle there. He has a little slide through the corner, but yeah, nice, efficient little pass there for TTJ set to move him up into 8th place. He got 6.5 seconds to his teammate Egon now, up ahead of him here. So it is Petrolhead here, is still in the race lead. He is going to continue going around. So is SoCal, and it looks like Lone Wolf Racing is also going to continue around. Reyes has a pit stop cleared. We got Toonbox here in fifth. We've got Nolander in sixth place, and Nolander is giving him the business here right now. Toonbox is going to come into pit lane. He's going to make a pit stop, and Nolander is going to take fifth place over as he comes around the racetrack. I'll give Egon sixth position back here as Toonbox makes his pit stop. So of course drivers will start to settle back in towards their positions once these drivers make their pit stops. Jay is up into seventh place now with that pit stop from Toonbox. All right, Team Rad's Petrolhead on the bridge. 3/4 of a second down. Currently fastest driver on track at the moment is Reyes Jr. with a 208.778 here on the racing track. We've got Lone Wolf Racing here in second place, and he's got SoCal tucked right in underneath of him here. So having a really great race here today for SoCal. We got Reyes Jr. here in fourth position. He is just coming around the corner. We've seen those two come around. So 3.9 seconds is that gap. We got Nolander 10 seconds in behind fourth place here. We've got Egon 2.6 seconds in behind Nolander. Jay is about 7 seconds in behind Egon. He's got about 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds, pardon me, to Toonbox and Black Rider just in behind here. So different strategies coming from the driving field here today. We got varying strategies coming from all of our group here today. And so it's going to be interesting to see how all of that works out in the last, say, 5 laps of this race. And then it'll be interesting to compare it to our Div 2 drivers as well. So let us see how this one plays out. So this is the mid part of the race here. Now we're a third of the way through our race here at this point, at the end of lap number 8. And this is kind of the point where the strategies stretch the field out a little bit. As you can see, you have drivers on different strategies. So because we have drivers on different strategies, that tends to spread the field out in the middle part of the race. So from there, you know, we're going to see these drivers close up gaps or open up gaps depending on where they come out of the pit lane after their stops. And then with about 8 to go, we will start to see that next pit stop sequence, maybe a little sooner. And once that second pit stop sequence transitions all the way through the driving field, that's kind of when we're going to have really the true idea of where everybody is at on this track and where the battles are going to end up being before the end of the race. So Egon currently in 6th. We got Jay set here currently in 7th. We got Toonbox tucked right in behind, 8 tenths of a second in underneath there. We got Black Rider in 9th here. He's doing a great job there as well. He's in every race, man. And the guy never gives up. Really huge respect for Black Rider. Alright, so Petrolhead, 3.94 seconds. He's just maintaining the gap. Lone Wolf Racing here was getting a little bit of pressure from SoCal, but now has since stretched that up a little bit. He's got it at 1.3 seconds, so he's given himself just a small amount of breathing room here currently from SoCal. He has broken the slipstream, so that's part 1 of the get away from the driver chasing you plan. But, you know, SoCal here in 3rd place is like, all right. I see that you're trying to push a little bit here, but you know what? Let's see what we can do about that. So you can see he got a better run coming down the hill there. He's actually closing that gap back up a little bit. So give a little, take a little. But Reyes here is starting to track in 4th position. So he is closing in on SoCal and Lone Wolf Racing here about 2.1 seconds. So he closed up about a second that time around. Egon has caught and passed Nolander here, so now he's up into 5th place. Nolander's down in 6th position here, and he sees that rear bumper, so he's going to try and tuck in, try to stay in that slipstream. Toonbox has made his way around at TT's J set here as well, so Toonbox now up into 7th position, Jay in 8th, and Black Rider in 9th place here. So all our drivers are starting still on track here as well. Alright, so our race leader is deciding to make his pit stop, so he will now give the race lead to Lone Wolf Racing. So Lone Wolf Racing will be our 3rd different leader here today. SoCal's going to come across in 2nd. That's going to put Reyes back up into 3rd position. That was a long stint there from Petrolhead. We got Egon here in 5th place. Does he get that position from Petrolhead? Nolander's just tucked in behind. No. Petrolhead comes up just ahead of Egon. It's going to be a 4, maybe 5 second gap there once the timer all settles down. And it's going to be about once Egon gets around turn 1 here that we'll see that time settle in here. It's a 5.6 second gap currently between himself and Petrolhead up ahead. Nolander still finds himself in behind Egon, and now he's broken that toe. It's 1.7 seconds. Toonbox here is in 7th position. He's got 5.6 seconds to Nolander. Jay is 4 seconds in behind him, and clear Black Rider by about 8 seconds. So he's just moving, grooving, chilling, clean air, doing his thing. Alright, so Lone Wolf Racing here, 2.3 second gap over SoCal. SoCal feeling some pressure here though from Reyes. Alright, so nice little battle here. Reyes is going to take a look. He is in that slipstream. The question is, was that too early? You can see he's still got momentum gaining on that Lexus here, and it looks like he's just going to have enough to hold it out there, boy. That was very, very close between the two. Both of them got a very equal run there. Rice is going to lock that in there for second place here for the time being on lap number 10. So a great move there from Rias as he uses the slipstream there to get the pass done on the straightaway before they come into the braking zone, and quickly trying to open that gap up there on SoCal as well. So great little move there by Rias, and that's going to put him up into second place here, and now only 1.8 seconds in behind Lone Wolf Racing. He is most certainly tracking the leader here, but we should be seeing this guy coming into pit lane here at some point in time here in the near future. We got SoCal coming into pit lane in behind, so a third place driver dives into pit lane. 41% fuel left in that car, and we're not quite at the halfway point, so tells me these drivers are going to be taking a splash of fuel here today. Rias now tracking on a Lone Wolf Racing here. We got Petrolhead in third place, and that gap is opened up between him and Rias up to 10 seconds here. Egon 4.3 seconds in behind Petrolhead. They're currently in fourth place. Toonbox is going to find himself now up into fifth, with pit stops being made by SoCal and Nolander coming in. Jay's going to come around. He's going to grab positions on both of those drivers as he comes around and moves himself up into sixth place, and Black Rider coming in for a pit stop here as well. Lots of things happening on this racetrack for a 9-driver grid here today. It's that's what I said, pure racing league. It doesn't matter how many drivers are on the grid. These guys are fast, they're very close in pace, and always provides for great action. And I mean, we've had little battles all race long here so far, so at the midway point of the race, that's pretty unusual to be seeing guys fighting like we have here today, and that's just because these guys, that's just the way it is here at Pure Racing League. It is no prisoners, man, and these guys race hard, and it shows here on the track. So a big slide there from Lone Wolf Racing. It was a great move there by Rias to get into the lead there, so he's going to take the race lead back for the second time here today, and just going up in out of bridge there up into the left-hander. Just gets a nice, good, tidy inside pass done uncontested there by Lone Wolf Racing. He was really just trying to get a good exit there, and just got the power down a little too early. That cost him a little extra time, but I mean, 3/4 of a second still in the slip. Petrolhead here 10.7 seconds in behind. Egon 2.9 seconds in behind Petrolhead. He is up on his fastest lap, and he doesn't really seem to be tracking. He's about right on pace there right now with the third place driver, Petrolhead. Toonbox, our championship points leader here, coming into round number 4, sitting in 5th place. He is looking good here. I mean, he doesn't need to stress right now. He's got a little bit of a points lead in the series, so it's just about getting across the start-finish line in the best possible position. He's in the mid-pack right now. I'm sure he'd probably like to see a couple more spots gained, but he's doing good here right now for himself as far as that championship points lead goes. We got TTJ set here in 6th place. Lone Wolf Racing finally makes that pit stop. We got SoCal here in 7th. We got Nolander up into 8th place, and we got Black Rider here still in 9th position. And all our 9 of our drivers are still moving and grooving here, and that's what matters the most. So TT Rias Jr. here, and this guy has pace for days. He's still learning how to manage that pace in long distance racing, so let's see how it works out for him here today. His sheer pace has done him well here so far this season. It's gotten him some good finishes here, but when he figures out how to use the pace he has within the limits of the racing conditions, he's going to be a very dangerous competitor into the future, that's for sure. And he's showing it here today. He's opened that gap up a couple more seconds over Petrolhead here, so right now he knows that he needs to continue to open the gap up. He needs the biggest possible gap he can get going into that final pit stop. I don't know what tires he's jumping in on. I haven't been paying too much attention to that today because I can't really see it in front of me, so we're just speculating here at this point. We got Egon in 3rd place. We got Toonbox up into 4th. We'll move my rig in between the races so I can see that information a little bit better, so I can keep you a little bit better informed. Lone Wolf Racing here in 5th place after his pit stop. That puts him about 3 seconds ahead of TT's J Set, who has SoCal right chasing in 7th place in behind. Nolander 6 seconds in behind on fresh rubber, and we got Black Rider there in 9th place. Only about a minute behind here, so doing good. He's doing good. Alright, so Reyes doing everything he can to open up the gap on Petrolhead. Petrolhead is no slouch of a driver, so it is not an easy task to try and open up the gap on this guy. This guy is fighting for that championship. He's right there near the top of the standings, I do believe, here as well, again, without having seen him yet. And he's a true competitor, this guy. His pace has just been incredible over the last few months. He's reined that pace in long distance runs as well, so he's a dangerous driver. We got Egon here in third place, and he's having a very impressive run here today. Potentially the best run of the season here for him so far. We've got Toonbox here in fourth place. We've got Lone Wolf Racing in fifth position. We got SoCal here in sixth. We've got JSet in seventh place. We've got Nolander here in eighth. And we got Black Rider in ninth position. So it is Arias Jr. leading the charge here right now as we head into turn number 3 on lap number 13. Got Rob coming in with that thumbs up. The legend himself. Appreciate you, my guy. Petrolhead here in second place. We got Egon in third position. Toonbox in fourth. He's having I'm not going to say he's having an off day, because he's not having an off day. Maybe not his best track. He was a little conservative at the beginning of the race, and I'm not sure if that's just set him back a little bit, but he is most certainly moving and grooving here. That's for sure. That is for sure. Alright, we're just doing a quick check on all the platforms, make sure everything is moving nice and smoothly, everything looking good, sounding good, everything seems to be doing well. So again, we had a little bit of an equipment failure recently, so we've got a band-aid fix working on it here right now. I'm just always worried that it's gonna do something unexpected. Alright, so Raya's here, 13-second gap. He is opening the gap up on Petrolhead here, and is it going to be enough? Only time it's really going to tell at the midway point of this race here. We got Egon up in third place. He got 6 seconds on Toonbox here in fourth. From there, it's Lone Wolf Racing, 6-second gap. So again, mid part of the race, this is when the pit stop strategies tend to stretch the drivers out a little bit, especially in our lower divisions. Nolander here in seventh. He knows his track really well. Don't count the guy out yet. JSet here in 8th place, and he's made a pit stop. So that may be actually his final pit stop. I think he made a very, very early pit stop here today, and I just didn't see it. I could be wrong. Alright, so let's sit on board with our race leader here. He's coming around Jay's corner to finish off lap number 13. Let's jump on board with Rise here for a lap, and I'm going to go do a little digging for some information while he's doing his thing. third lap from our current race leader here, Rise Jr. It was a little bit of a spicy lap at moments there, but a great job there to keep that thing moving in the right direction. So now we got Egon teammate in behind here up into second place. Gap is 14 seconds from Rise to Egon. Egon has 11 seconds to Lone Wolf Racing. Lone Wolf Racing has Petrolhead tucked right in underneath of him here. And I think Petrolhead had a little bit of a moment at some point here on the racetrack because he was in second place tracking Rise Jr. So not ideal there. We got SoCal here in 5th place. And again, you know, everybody's just spaced out a little bit here. We got Toonbox and Nolander quite close together here. So let's stick with this for a moment. See if there's any battle happening here. Toonbox's car there, a little worse for wear on the front end, a little bit of scarring, war wounds happening here to show the difficulties on the racetrack today. Nolander's going to take a look up the inside into turn 2, and can Toonbox respond going up the inside into turn 3? Nolander semi defends that there. He is aware that Toonbox may have challenged that, but Toonbox just patient. He sits there, waits, gets good power down coming out of turn number 3, and that takes us down into the S's heading towards Bridge Hill here. And Toonbox is tucked right in behind. Is he going to take a look down? Nope, he's just getting some clean air in that racing car. He's going to try and keep some tight lines, and he's going to look for the run coming up into the bridge. Nolander had to check up there. He was all kinds of out of sorts coming into that final part of the S's. And you can see Toonbox not panicking there. He seems to have really settled into his racing car here, and this is when this driver gets dangerous. So look out for our 7th place driver because he looks quite settled now in that race car. He's not over pushing it. He's not spinning those tires. And just as I say that, he has a big moment coming out of the left-hander out of the bridge. But, you know, we've seen lots of drivers struggling on exit in that particular corner. There's a little bit of an uphill when you come up there around the corner and your car lifts a little bit. It gets a little bit light, and if you get on the power right at that moment, that is basically what happens to your race car. You just, the back end gets a little bit squirrely, and you got to gather yourself back up. So coming around Jay's corner here is Rise Jr. for the 15th time, and it's a 14.5 second gap over the field right now. TT Egon teammate in second place here in behind. He's got 9.3 seconds to Lone Wolf Racing. Lone Wolf Racing is tracking. He is absolutely tearing into that time right now. Petrolhead right there is 2.2 seconds in behind Lone Wolf Racing and SoCal here in 5th place. These three have been pretty close together for the most part. They've been swapping positions throughout the podium here and just off podium positions for the majority of the race. Nolander here in 6th place. He takes a little dip of tire in the grass there, but no harm, no foul there for Nolander. Toonbox right there in 7th place, just lost touch a little bit with them there. We got Jay here in 8th. We got Black Rider here in 9th. Now, Jay's got a 23-second gap there. I believe he's cleared his pit stop still. So he's, I believe, the only driver on the one lap hard and off kind of strategy here today. So that's an interesting strategy. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out for him here today against the rest of this field. Some of these guys are absolutely flying. Alright, so Rise here in 1st place, and the gap is dwindling to Egon. Egon is actually chipping into that gap of the race leader, but he's also being challenged here by Lone Wolf Racing in 3rd place and behind as well. So there is a lot happening on this racetrack right now. We got Petrolhead here in 4th place. We got SoCal in 5th. He's tracking in on Petrol. We've got Nolander and Toonbox in 6th and 7th place. These two have been engaged here for a little bit for the last couple laps. They're just kind of starting to space out from each other here so they can breathe a little bit. We got Jay in no man's land here in 8th place, and we got Black Rider here doing his thing in 9th place. You know what, this driver, I'm proud of this driver today. You know, he is giving it everything he's got. He's got the race leader just coming down on him here right now, which is unfortunate, but you know, he comes out every week and he gives it his absolute 110% effort every single week. So huge props to Black Rider, man. And you know, I have a lot of respect for racers that are still learning like that. A lot of them just get frustrated and give up. This guy doesn't have any give up in him, so kudos to him, man, really, for real. Alright, so Raya's coming around here on the end of lap 16 to start lap number 17, and you can see there, you can see Black Rider just up in front of him here, but you know, Black Rider's doing good. I see improvement in this driver every single weekend, so love it, love it. Egon coming into pit lane, gonna make his final stop here. Lone Wolf Racing getting it a little bit wrong there around Jay's corner. He got hooked up around that curbing. He ate a little bit of grass there. Thankfully the wall did not eject him across the track. It tends to do that here, especially when tires start to wear down. Petrolhead, that puts him up into 3rd place, puts SoCal up into 4th place, if I can find the button, from Flying Fox Racing here. That brings Egon out into 5th position. Got Nolander here in 6th, we got Toonbox in 7th, we got Jay in 8th, and we got Black Rider here in 9th. Now it does look like some of these drivers are on a 3-stop strategy here today. That's interesting. Alright, so Rise here, his gap now up to 20 seconds over Lone Wolf Racing here. So Lone Wolf Racing, is it enough to keep the charge from Rise Jr. is the big question. It depends on how these strategies all play out. Petrolhead here in 3rd place. I think he's going to have a stop yet to go. We have SoCal here. He definitely will have a stop to go yet. We have Egon, who may not have another stop to go, but is not on the ideal tire at the end of the race here right now. We have Nolander in 6th place. We've got Toonbox in 7th. We've got Jay in 8th with 7 to go still. And Black Rider here in 9th place. Alright, let's see how this plays out. We are at about that point where final sets of pit stops are going to kind of start coming into play here, and these strategies are going to start to bring these drivers back together, and we're going to see where our fights are here on the racetrack. So Raya's right now, I'm assuming, is going to be looking at a pit stop here in the very near future. So that is certainly the case as he comes into pit lane. So Lone Wolf Racing doesn't look like he's going to be making that pit stop anytime here in the immediate future, so he should take the race lead back over here as he comes around the racetrack. Much tidier exit there through Jay's corner this time around. So Reyes comes out ahead of Lone Wolf Racing. So he had, what was that, a 28? Was that a 28-second gap? 20-second gap over Lone Wolf Racing. So that pit stop was quite quick, actually. We got Petrolhead here in 3rd place. We got SoCal in 4th. We got Nolander in 5th. We got Toonbox in 6th. We got Egon coming in, and I figured he was making another stop. So we are seeing some 3-stop strategies. We got the old bunny hop off the curb there from Jay set in 8th place here as he comes around. Car was on 2 tires there for a moment when he hit that curb. That was great. Gotta love it. Hashtag airtime. So it's Rise here in race lead, and we still have 7 to go. So we're, it's a long lap here. It's a long track here. So we're at about an hour per race here today. Maybe even just a smidge over. So with that being said, for our qualifiers for the prototypes later today, that might delay the lobby by a smidge. Just a heads up. Lone Wolf Racing here in 2nd place. We got Petrolhead here in 3rd. We got SoCal up into 4th place, and he is right on the bumper of Petrolhead here. And I think we're going to see the move down the inside. Petrolhead's not fighting it here. Oh, he went to go turn in and didn't realize that SoCal hadn't cleared yet, so he backed back out. That was just a oopsies there. He thought SoCal had cleared already and went to go tuck in behind, but SoCal was still slightly there. So no harm, no foul there. That was a great move by SoCal. I think Petrolhead, he didn't contest that pass there. I think he realized this was probably a difference in tires or tire temperature there, and he just, again, went to go tuck in behind, and SoCal just hadn't quite cleared him yet, so he, give him that extra time to clear there, and he tucked right back in behind. So we got Nolander here in 5th and Toonbox in 6th. This hasn't changed one bit here in the last 4 or 5 laps. The only change really is the distance between the two of them. The Toonbox is much closer to the backside of Nolander here right now. We got Egon in 7th place. We got Jay in 8th, 4 seconds behind, and Black Rider right there in 9th, and he's still on that lead lap, ladies and gentlemen. That's the important thing here. Alright, so Lone Wolf Racing going around. Reyes is doing a 1-lap dash hard, so 3-stop strategies here today from some of the drivers. This is going to be versing 2-stop strategies from some of the other drivers. A little splash of fuel also going into that car. We've got SoCal doing the 1-lap dash as well, so it is a 3-stop strategy here today from most of our drivers on the racetrack. Let's see how it plays out. Lone Wolf Racing, 8.9 seconds over Petrolhead here in 2nd. Toonbox is 13 seconds in behind. SoCal comes out ahead of Reyes now, so leapfrogs him in pit lane there up into 4th place. Reyes is now here in 5th place. We've got Egon 12 seconds behind him in 6th. We've got J-Set coming up into 7th place with Nolander coming into pit lane. And Nolander is taking some fuel there. I don't think he took tires that time around. We'll find out when we get back to his car here. So things are going to start to shape up here in another lap or two. So it is Lone Wolf Racing here. He is in first place. The gap is 9 seconds to Petrolhead. Petrolhead has 13 seconds to Toonbox. Toonbox currently sitting in a podium position here with 6 to go. We have SoCal in 4th place, chasing 3.3 seconds behind. You can see him up there. He's got TT Rise Jr. closing in quickly. That gap was a couple of seconds out of the pit stop sequence, and Rise there, right there, in 6/10 of a second. We're going to stick with this because we may be seeing a battle here very quickly. I'm yanking stuff out of my ears here. Getting rowdy. Getting rowdy. Alright, so coming down this sweeping right-hander, downhill sweeping right-hander, you got a huge run there, slight little bit of contact there on the exit there. He just miscalculated how quick he came in there, side by side. And it's just basically a drag race into the kink here at this point. They're still side by side, so this is going to be a drag race into the right-hander here now, leading into the final set of S's. I'd say Quad B here setting up that final corner. Rise has the inside position, but this is a great switcheroo style corner, a good cutback corner. SoCal did take a look there. He just didn't get the power down quite as well as he wanted to, or Rise just got a great power down as well. Whatever the case may be, Rise does get the job done, move himself up into 4th place. We've got Lone Wolf Racing coming into pit lane here now. We've got Petrolhead coming into pit lane here now. Okay, so everything is starting to develop here. Toonbox, what's he going to do? He's going to dive into pit lane. We got Rise Jr. here in 1st. We've got SoCal now in 2nd place. No, Lone Wolf Racing comes out ahead of TT Rise Jr. He's got 1.6 seconds. We got SoCal in 3rd place. The other 2 drivers are still sitting in pit lane. Egon's up a position. Egon comes out just in behind Team Rad's Petrolhead here, it looks like. No, Egon's going to get the job done on the outside. He just beats him out of pit lane here. And oh boy, here we go. And now it is shaping up. The battles are on. We have several of them coming into the race here. We got Lone Wolf Racing and Rise Jr. battling it out for 1st place. This is for the overall race lead here. And Rise Jr. gets it done down the S's up the inside. That's a big move right there from Rise Jr. He did not want to wait around. He caught up and he executed an offensive move, and he has put a gap between him and SoCal. Lone Wolf Racing is in a tough spot. He's on that racing hard tire against these guys on this racing soft tire right now, and SoCal is also on that racing hard tire, so maybe not in as tough against our 3rd place driver here, but 1st place is in a great position to take a win home here today. We got Egon and Petrolhead battling it out here for 4th and 5th place. Egon's defending the corner coming off the bridge here into the left-hander. He's going to take the inside line, but Petrolhead might be looking for a cutback here. Gets the power down, and we're almost still side by side, and we are side by side. Egon goes semi-defensive here. He's going to try and protect this line coming out of the corner. Petrolhead takes the racing line. He's going to get a great run out of the corner, and it's going to be a slipstream engage kind of style deal. He slips back in, realizes he didn't have enough run there to get the pass done, and he is going to make the late move here. That's what I figured we were going to see, but Egon cuts the line and he takes his turn in and he gets the position maintained here. But this is a great battle for 4th and 5th place between Egon and Petrolhead here right now, and Petrolhead has the inside track coming into the right-hander, and he's going to get the job done on Egon. That was a great battle right there for 5th and 6th place between Petrolhead and 4th and 5th, pardon me, for Petrolhead and Egon. Petrolhead gets the job done. Egon now finds himself chasing. So another battle here. Oh, a little bit of contact right there between Toonbox and Newlander. Newlander got a huge launch through the corner there, just clipping the front end of Toonbox's car there. This battle is not over. These guys have been stuck together for about the last 10 laps here. Woo! It is kicking off. It is kicking off. All right, Rise Jr. here. This man just needs to bring it home. He is on the soft racing tire. His competitors, 2nd and 3rd place, are on the racing hard tire right now. He has played his strategy out beautifully today, and he's just got to take this thing home. Lone Wolf Racing is looking in that rearview mirror slightly here. Is a 1.5 second gap to SoCal in 3rd place. Now, whether or not these drivers are aware of the tire situations, I don't know, but we got battles all up and down this racetrack. Petrolhead here in 4th place. He's on that soft tire. We got Egon in 5th, also on that soft tire. We've got Nolander in 6th on the soft, Toonbox on the soft. We got Jay in 8th place here. He's also on the soft tire. We got Black Rider here in 9th position. All right, so it is Rise Jr. here in the race lead. and it's 4.7 seconds on lap 21 of 25. So we still have 4 laps to go, including the one we're on. And it's been an interesting race so far, needless to say. SoCal in 3rd place, 1.7 seconds. Lone Wolf Racing's doing a good job of maintaining that gap to SoCal in 3rd place. Petrol, I mean, Petrol can grab position here still. He has an opportunity, at least 2 more podiums here. 6.6 seconds right now from SoCal in 3rd place. He has Egon right in tow in behind. There is potential podiums for both these drivers up ahead of him here yet. There is time on track to get the job done, but they still got to catch him and pass him. So we got Nolander and Toombox here for 6th and 7th place. Toombox gets it into the slipstream. He takes that late move up the inside there. He's going to have the inside track for the right-hander. Should have no issue getting this pass done. He has it done before we even get into the braking zone. And it's going to be Toombox to take the lead here. But Nolander gets, again, another great launch out of that corner. And he's going to fight it back on the outside. He's going to get the position back here. This is a battle for 6th and 7th place here on the racetrack right now. And Nolander and Toombox scrapping it out here for 6th and 7th place. The boxing gloves have come out between these 2 Lexus drivers today. Oh boy, this is some fun racing from Division 3. I told you, Division 3 always sets the tone for Pure Racing League every single weekend when it comes to these GT3 cars. Oh, it's so much fun. Reyes in the lead, 6.5 seconds. Lone Wolf Racing here, he's got 2.2 seconds to SoCal. SoCal's got 4.9 seconds to Petrolhead. That, I'm sure, is starting to play on the mind of our 3rd place driver. The team radio is probably saying, okay, mate, keep pushing. They are closing in. Egon in 5th place. Oh, 1 second penalty. That is not ideal right there for Egon. And Nolander gets it a little bit wrong on the exit there. That's going to give Toombox a great run. Coming down into the S's towards Bridge Hill. And Toombox should be tucked right in underneath Nolander here by the time we get into the braking zone here. And oh yeah, he is right there. He's looking for a solid run up Bridge Hill there. And he's going to eat the curb. Can he keep it together? He got a little unsettled. What a pull out of that corner after sliding through the grass like that. Slingshot around, little tail slide through the curbing there. And man, look at this battle. He's going to take a look. No, he's not going to take a look. He's going to take a look. No, he's not going to take a look. He is totally playing games. Nolander there right now in the rearview mirror. Oh boy, it is game on. This is a great battle right here between 5th and 6th place. We got to keep our eye on that 3rd place here as well. But boy, these guys are putting on a show at the end of this race right now for 6th and 7th position. This is our points championship. This is our championship points leader, and Nolander battling it out for 6th and 7th place here. This is a feisty little fight right here between these 2. I tell you what, these 2 are having fun on this racetrack right now. That is for sure. Toombox looking for a response. Nolander's going to cut the line. Toombox dukes him out. He moves up the inside, and he's going to get the job done again into that same corner. We've seen Nolander get some great runs out of this corner, and he gets another great run out of the corner, but Toombox had the answer this time. He manages just to stay in front of Nolander. What a great battle we're having right here. Okay, let's go see what's happening up over here. We got Lone Wolf Racing 9 seconds in behind Raz. He's got 2.1 seconds over SoCal. This is where it's starting to matter here. We got 1.4 seconds. We've got 3 to go, including the lap that we're on here right now. And we've got these soft tire guys starting to close in on 2nd and 3rd place on the hard tire. Egon is not that far behind Petrolhead, just about 2.5 seconds in behind. So now the pressure is on for our hard tire runners. Whew. Nolander here in 6th place. Toombox now in 7th, so they swapped that position back again. Man, this is a feisty little fight here between these 2 right now. I can just imagine what that stream over at Nolander looks like. These 2 are having a good old-fashioned bar room brawl here, but you know what? Nolander finally makes the mistake there, and Toombox gets the free pass, and Toombox gets a little bit of a gap, and that is unfortunate. That was a great battle we were seeing right there. That would have been fun to take that all the way to the end, but hey, racing's racing. Nolander made a slight mistake there, a little bit deep into the corner, got into the grass, had to collect himself up there, and Toombox is going to drive around and say, thank you very much, mate. That was fun, but I'm going to go now. All right, so Reyes made a mistake here. 6.8 seconds. The gap was 9. So he definitely made a mistake somewhere here along the way. No need for him to be over pushing this car right now with a 7-second gap and 2 to go. Petrolhead here in 3rd place. So Petrolhead has now made his way around SoCal, and he's now looking for Lone Wolf Racing 1.5 seconds up the road. SoCal's here in 4th position, and he's got Egon tracking 3.3 seconds in behind. Egon needs to get into that loud pedal if he wants a crack at that podium here today. Toonbox is clear in 6th place here now. We got 4.3 seconds between him and Nolander. Jay's about 12 seconds in behind Nolander. Whew, all right. Edge of your seat racer right here from Pure Racing League. Tell you what, my goodness, that may have to be a Division 3 reel right there for Facebook. That battle, that was something special. That was fun. That was fun. All right, Raya's coming across the start-finish line here. 2nd last lap of the race, lap 24-25. Looking pretty good on fuel. Tires look good. 7-second gap to Lone Wolf Racing here in 2nd place. And boy, oh boy, Petrol is closing quickly here. So let's stick with our 3rd place driver here, as I do suspect by the time we get towards Bridge Hill, he is going to be applying some pressure here to Lone Wolf Racing. And let's see how hard Lone Wolf Racing fights off this challenge from Petrolhead here. So it's not hard to tell as a driver sometimes what the tire difference is when the gaps close up like that. So I'm sure Lone Wolf Racing is aware that Petrol's on a better tire compound here, and Lone Wolf Racing is not going to give it away. He goes semi-defensive. He's going to force Petrolhead to do this thing the hard way. He's going to make him work for this pass. He's going to hold him to the outside, but he left the door open up Bridge Hill there, and that's unfortunate. Petrol's just going to take that opening. He's going to drive his car right on through that garage door, and he's going to say, "Thank you very much, mate. That was a good defense, but I'm now going to sit here and try and say see you later." So 2nd place there now for Petrolhead. Lone Wolf Racing, great defending there to try and keep him in behind. SoCal here in 4th place. Egon now tracking 1.7 seconds. Toonbox here in 6th position. We got Nolander here still rocking and rolling in 7th place as well as he comes down through the bridge. We've got Jay set there in 8th place, and we've got Ryder rolling. Oh, 3-second pit lane infraction penalty. You hate to see that, but this is why we have race officials. They are there to make sure these drivers are keeping the track limits right. All right, especially this track. It is a wide track, so that is a pit lane entry or exit infraction, however, though, which is unfortunate. You hate to see it, but it happens. All right, so Raya's here. He's coming down and around, and he's just got, he's got 15 corners left to go here to secure a race win for himself today. We got Petrolhead here in 2nd. He's got 7.5 seconds to try and catch up on Raya's in 1 lap. He's got about 7 clicks to get it done. Got Lone Wolf Racing here. He's in 3rd place, holding strong. SoCal in 4th, and Egon is closing in. Egon has 1 to go, and he sees the podium up there. He's just got to figure out how to get it done. Toonbox here in 6th place. Nolander in 7th. Jay in 8th. Ryder in 9th. Let's get to it. All right, let's go on board with 5th place driver Egon. And let's see if he can close down SoCal and Lone Wolf Racing before the end of this lap. He is going to have to put a cooker in. If he wants to get both these positions, he's going to have to be extremely decisive and offensive. He's just going to have to decide where he's going to make the pass, and he's going to have to make it stick, and he's going to have to keep absolutely sending this car around this racetrack if he wants to be standing on that 3rd place spot here today. These guys have played a good strategy here, and is going to be just enough to hold 3rd place for Lone Wolf Racing. It's hard to say. They're both right there. Egon is closing in on SoCal here, and let's see if he can get this position here. We're halfway around this racetrack at this point, and Egon is still closing in. I'm not sure that he's aware that there's a difference in tire compounds there, and if he was aware, maybe he would be pushing slightly harder. I'm not sure. Maybe he is aware, but good pace from those guys on the hard tires there to keep both the soft tire runners from catching them here before the end of the race potentially. So we're going to sit with Raya's here. He's in about the mid part of the racetrack. We're just trying to keep an eye on the leaders getting near the end here, so we don't miss him coming across the start-finish line. kind of keeping an eye on this 4th place situation here. This is potentially going to be contested. There was a big slide there from Egon trying to get the power down, and it looks like it might be a good hold there for SoCal and Lone Wolf Racing. So TT's Rise Jr. coming around Jay's corner for the final time here, and it's going to be a race win for TT's Rise Jr. Team Rat's Petrolhead here. He is going to bring it home here in 2nd position. We've got Lone Wolf Racing here in 3rd place. He's just going to hold that charge off. SoCal feeling the pressure, but he's going to get that 4th place finish. Egon's going to bring it home in 5th. We've got Toombox here. He is going to bring it home here in 6th place. It was definitely an up and down day for our championship points leader here in Division 3 today, but he's going to bring it home here in 6th place and just add more points to that total. We've got Nolander here in 7th place, and then what a battle between him and Toombox there for basically the whole last half of this race. Those two were glued together almost at the hip there for a while, it seemed like. We got TT's J-Set rounding out here. The last guy to take the checkered flag today in 8th place. Black Rider coming through in 9th there, just ahead of the 2nd place driver Petrolhead. So it's going to be Arias Jr. with the race win, Petrolhead with 2nd place, and Lone Wolf Racing holding down that 3rd place position at the end of this race on that hard tire. So great job there by all our drivers. Oops, wrong button. We're trying to get to this. Alright, so it is Rise Jr. Rise Jr. gets the race win and fastest lap on track. Petrolhead in 2nd, Lone Wolf Racing in 3rd, SoCal in 4th, Egon in 5th, Toombox in 6th, Nolander in 7th, Jay in 8th, and Black Rider in 9th position. Great job to him. He almost stayed on the lead lap there. Alright, so we're going to go to this one. I think it's this one. And we're going to see if anybody jumps in for a podium interview here after this race. We'll give them a few minutes while Cantilever sets up our next lobby. And we'll get ready to do some racing here again in a few moments' time. So we'll be leading into our Division 2 race here shortly. And now the driver interviews are not a mandatory thing. So top 3 can quickly come in, have a few words, and then we'll move on into our Division 2 race if they choose to do so. Of course, again, it's not something that's mandatory. It's just something that is available and optional for them if they choose to come and have a quick chat to everybody watching at home. And that gives us time to getting spicy, says Corey. So Corey. The Corey TV. I'm getting royalties for that, right, Corey? Great stuff, very entertaining. Pretty good race for 9 drivers for sure. So basically we're just going to wait for the next lobby to get set up, and then we'll get into that lobby. We'll kind of get an idea of when we're going to be starting qualifying, and we'll just transition into our Division 2. That's the one. Into our next set of races. So we've got lots and lots of sim racing content for everybody today. We got 3 amazing races here from Pure Racing League. We'll have a short break, and then we've got our session number 2 qualifying for the GT45 Prototype Series right afterwards as well, which will be done on a new live stream. But lots going on here for everybody today. So lots and lots of sim racing to tickle everybody's pleasures today. All right, so we're just taking a peek here. Oh, yeah, we got guys. Oh, hey, holy moly. All right, hold on. I'm slacking. Let's get to it. All right. All right, welcome in, everybody.
I did 3 stops.
Rise. Thank you.
Hello.
All right, welcome in everybody. We've got Petrolhead and Rise Jr. here with us, so we're going to start with our second place finisher, Team Rad's Petrolhead. Great racing today, great pace out there. Some pretty crazy strategies, varying strategies for the drivers. Give us a few words about how your race went today, and follow it up with some shoutouts and thank yous to viewers watching at home.
Um, Race went well, apart from my one error on the hard stint that I had. Um, Honestly, this race was the antithesis of how I drive. Um, I tend to burn out front tires normally, and this was a very front limited track. So that first stint was a lot of tire saving, a lot. Um, but I'm happy with second place considering my spin, half spin, and I wish I had a good battle with Rise towards the end. Um, Surprised I finished second and cut them through third and fourth so quickly. I think they made mistakes before I got to, like, just as I got to them, which made passing a little bit easier. Um, but yeah, all round good race. Would like to thank Team Rad for building a better car compared to last race, and congratulations to Rise for the win. Nearly.
Absolutely, and really great pace showing from you here again this week. And Toonbox not getting a great result here today, finishing in sixth place. So that should definitely help you gain a little bit of points towards the front end of this championship challenge here. And with 2 weeks to go, what is the goal?
Try. I know I have race winning pace, so I need to get that. Just getting that win at some point. Just stop making mistakes and get that win. I think under my belt, especially as I'm a new driver to this league. I do have race winning pace in this division. I just need to get it. And other than that, try and rack up as many points as possible to catch up to the top. I don't think I'm going to get championship, but we'll see. I don't know what the standings are at the moment, but I don't think I'll get there yet.
Well, nonetheless, great racing here from you today and from Team Rad, and congratulations on a great second place finish. And can't wait to see what you have for us in a couple weeks' time for round number 5.
Thank you very much. Thank you to this for commentating and streaming.
Cheers, brother. We appreciate you. All right, so let's talk to our race winner here real quick now. We got TT Rise Jr. here with us, and new to league racing here this season. This is his first competitive season here on GT7, and showing some good pace out on the racetrack all season long. You started off a little shaky. You're still figuring out the whole long distance racing strategy deal, but today it sure looked like you had it locked in. You played a great strategy, and you had a great 8-second win here at the end of the day today. Talk us through your race real quick, and follow it up with some thank yous out to the viewers watching at home.
Absolutely. So I started off on softs because I figured I would push as hard as I can on the softs for 5 laps, and switched over to mediums, ran them as long as I could. I think I ran about 10 lap 10 laps on them. Yeah. And from there I switched off to hards because I realized I had a good lead on everybody from starting off on the softs. Then I ran the hard, I did my 1 lap on the hard to get them out of the way. Hopped back into the soft tires, filled up my fuel, and I was set for the rest of the race from there on. Everybody still had to do their final pit because this race really needed a 3-stop pit, and it just worked out for me in the end. And I was grateful for JSET helping me out with practice with me, and yeah.
Absolutely, and you've been chasing the top of the podium here all season. You're finally standing on it. You stood on every other step of the podium here this season. You're finally standing on the top, so a little bit of vindication for all the hard work here so far this season.
Yes, sir. It was a lot of fun though. Man, I've been wanting to get first place for the longest now, and I'm glad I got to do it. I've always been racing in time trials, and I'm always just a hot lapper, and swapping over to this endurance racing is just a big change for me. But I'm starting to get a little bit of the hang of it now, and I'm starting to understand it's not it's you're not gonna win the race on the first lap. You're not gonna win the race on the second lap. It's a continuous consistency.
Absolutely. And, you know, great racing out there. Ten Tenths Racing is definitely proud of all the drivers and their performance week in and week out. And congratulations for a great race for you here today. And any shout-outs and thank yous you'd like to throw out there to the viewers at home?
Absolutely. Thank you to Bossman GT45 for streaming for us, and thank you to my viewers. Thank you to Bossman's viewers. Thank you guys for growing this community up for us. We're gonna be doing lots of racing and whatnot. Lots of fun stuff happening around here, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. So I want to thank everybody on the Ten Tenths Racing team, and also I want to thank Petrolhead for being a good sport, even though everything he had a mistake there. He would have had me. I think he would have had me.
Absolutely, but you know that's racing. It happens. The drivers make mistakes, cars break down, contact happens. All sorts of things happen at a race. And at the end of the day, today you were the first one to take the checkered flag. So congratulations! It's going to be a fastest lap as well for you here today. So great race, and we'll let you get back to that 10-10 clubhouse and go celebrate with that great team behind the scenes. And cheers on an absolutely great finish here today.
Thank you so much, boss man. I hope you have a great day.
Cheers, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to our next group of drivers here. Our Div 2 lobby is up. We're not quite qualifying yet, so let's hit it back over to our chill screen. Let's go to the chill screen. Let's hang out here. Let us make a couple changes here for everybody, so just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing a little streamer magic while we're live. This is stuff we typically do before we hit the live button, but a lot of moving parts here today. Alright, so the drivers are on track. They're just doing a little bit of final testing and tuning right now in a final practice type sense. We should have qualifying starting fairly shortly, so whenever race control gives the word, we will get that on the big screen for everybody. So we are now moving into our Division 2 race, and this as well will be done live for everybody here watching at home or at work or wherever it is that you're all viewing from. We appreciate the patronage and the support as always. And if you're just tuning in, welcome in on behalf of Pure Racing League. Oh, that is not the right one. That is the wrong one. There we go. Alright, so it is Div 2 here today. Now, St. Croix B. Let's chat about St. Croix B here for a minute while we have an opportunity to do so. Let me just make sure we got all the audios and everything sorted out here. We got to get that one nipped off for a minute. And we got to turn that one off for a minute. There we go. Alright. Fantastic stuff. So let's talk about St. Croix B here for a moment's time. Uh-oh. Computer's struggling. Alright, bear with the stream, ladies and gentlemen. It does have its moments. It has its moments, you know. Alright, St. Croix B. So, this is an original track theme for the St. Croix Lake, which actually exists in the province of southern France. The track contains corners comprised of geometric shapes such as 90-degree and radial corners. So, fun little fact about St. Croix B. And we'll talk about the first half of the racetrack here. So turn 1, Sunrise, has tarmac on the inside of the apex. Track stewards strictly enforce the track boundaries. Drivers beware. Turn 3, Breeze, transitions from flat and level to an uphill climb. During this transitions, driver have an additional traction. Tire grip returns to normal when drivers clear that transition. Now that takes us down into the S's, towards the bridge and what we call Bridge Hill, which is turn 6. Bridge Hill is bumpy and may cause the car to lose contact with the tarmac. Drivers should be mindful of the fact, especially in traffic and especially when getting down on their throttle. And the following corner at the end of the bridge, the left-hander, is Anchorage. Transitions from flat and level to uphill. During the transition, drivers have additional tire grip, but there's also a bump just before the turn exit, and we've seen that issue a few times in that Division 3 race where you get on the throttle just a little too early in that spot, and it could work out to being a little bit of a spicy exit for yourself, as we've seen lots of guys go half sideways around that corner. So just a little bit of fun facts from say Quad B here. And again, all that information provided from Special Operations Administrator Miss Devious. Track maps are provided by her, and the research is done by her. These information she finds and gets on these tracks is quite incredible. But every track that's built and designed by PD and Gran Turismo is indeed based off of a real place somewhere in the world. So it's just a matter of kind of figuring that out. Once you figure that out, it is easy peasy. So the stream is struggling here for a minute. Just bear with it, ladies and gentlemen. We had this issue yesterday. It will settle itself back down. Typically that means we've got too many processes going at the moment. So we're gonna close a couple windows. No big deal. Slowly starting to settle back in. Alright. Appreciate all the patience from everybody. I do apologize about the little glitch in the stream there. It happens. It happens. No good today, Jay? Hey, that happens to the best of us, my dude. Don't worry about it, my man. Good job out there, my guy. Alright, so we do have some of our drivers coming off a most recent 24-hour Daytona Simracing race as well. So we're going to have some drivers here that are quite played out as well, I think, today. So it's going to be an interesting race here in Division 2. These guys are insanely quick here in Division 2. And that's saying something, because the guys in Division 1 are even faster. So, I mean, what else can we say? Okay, I'm going to have to do a little more. I'm going to take our YouTube dashboard off. That usually seems to help settle the stream down, so. And it did. And it did. We're just missing one driver here, so I think that's what we're waiting for. And I think they're on their last hurry up and get in here kind of type deal. So, yeah. Alright, stream seems to be settling back in here now. Again, you know, we deal with these problems quite often and regularly, so this is nothing new and unusual here for content creators. I mean, we're at the mercy of our equipment and internet connections and processing powers and you know, all the great things, all that techie stuff, the, you know, boring mumbo jumbo. So yeah, it is what it is, but we're moving, we're grooving. No answer, rip. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be missing Payday. I agree, Leo. Keep your head up, dude. It happens, man. We all have our good and bad days. Alright, looks like we are preparing the track for qualifying conditions here now. And we'll get moved back over to that big screen here shortly. Alright, so we're just waiting for them to send qualifying off now. Looks like the track officials are out, just making sure the track is ready to go. Half the drivers just got done with the 24-hour race. Yeah, I know. It was some of the community, a couple of my admins were in the race as well. Half the field was in that race, I think. Half the field in Division 2 here. Alright, so there we go. We are now getting ready to be underway here. Let's get it back to the big screen. Let's get you guys some game audio. Bam. Rock and roll. Oh, we gotta change this. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's get the information on the stream right for everybody first. Now, qualifying is officially underway here. So we have just started our qualifying run. Alright, so last round of racing here was an interesting race from Division 2 because just had a bad server lobby. We had some net coding going on in our Div 2 race 2 weeks ago here from Pure Racing League, so that is why we didn't show that race last week when we did the rebroadcast for Div 3 and Div 1 before the Master Series. It was the netcoding was just, it would not have been a great viewing pleasure for the viewers. You would have heard a lot of tire screeching and rubber banding, and we just didn't want to present that to you guys. It didn't take away from the crazy race that they had. They had a great race, but unfortunately it was just the visual quality of that race not really up to standard in my opinion, so that's why we didn't show you guys Div 2 last weekend, so I do apologize for that, but it was for good reasons. So obviously we want the best quality for viewers at home or at work or wherever it is you're watching from for you guys and gals. We want the best visual and audio quality we can give to everybody viewing at home, so you guys get the best experience out of Pure Racing League that we can give you. So that's why we didn't do our Div 2 race last week, and I'm sure some of you are probably wondering. I know I got asked a couple of times why it wasn't broadcast from some of the community as well, but you know, tough calls. Sometimes you got to make tough calls, and it's all about representing the league, the drivers, the teams properly. And unfortunately, just the way that lobby, just the way that the server, that the net coding, the rubber banding, whatever you want to call it, the lag, just visually was not pleasing. It was not visually pleasing at all. It was a very tough driving conditions for our drivers. So, you know, hats off to all of the drivers that did last week, because it was tough driving conditions for them. But they pulled it out, man. They really did. Today, not having that issue. The lobby looks fantastic here today. So we are officially qualified. So we're on here with our Racing Lab Esports group, Dino, Stig, Halix, and Mr. SBS, the whole group here back this weekend racing. 4 cars on the track here in Division 2. They're all in line here, first through fourth. We've got T-Spat from Team Hypre here in 5th position. We've got Ram Apex GT here, very pacey driver. We got Lucas 369, independent racer here in 8th place. We got some Shredda Knight here from the Knights of the Round Table, I think that's what it is. I think, and Yanis Racing as well, very quick racer. We've seen a great battle in Division 3 here earlier in the stream, so if you missed the first race, don't panic, ladies and gentlemen. You can just rewind the stream back depending on the platform you're watching and catch up on it if you want, or just wait for the stream to finish up here later tonight and just go back and catch it at your own pleasure when you have a moment to see what happened in Division 3. Maybe your favorite racer raced in Division 3 and you missed all the action. It'll be there available for everybody right after we shut the stream down on the YouTube and Facebook and Kick channels. Alright, so let's stick with our Racing Lab Esports guys here. Again, 4 cars here in Div 2 from the team. So, obviously very equally paced drivers as well. We think Paymay's asleep. I think Paymay's probably asleep too. You're probably right. It's tough business doing 24-hour racing. It's no joke, that's for sure. And I think Stig, is it Stig? Yeah, I think the Stig went around Dino here, so the Stig's actually going to be the first guy to cross our start-finish line here in qualifying lap number 1, as we're just coming around the last set of S's here right now, heading in towards Jay's corner. So, as we are heading into the braking zone, we have the Stig coming around first, and then we'll move into Dino, who's going to come through behind, and then we'll try to get through the field as quickly as possible. Alright, Dino stays in second place. Mr. SBS takes second place. And Halix must have made some mistakes because everybody is going around him here. Lucas is moving up into 4th place. Let's try to get back to Helix here. There we go. He stays in 8th. So Shredded Knight here in 9th place. I was going to put him up in 2nd. Yanis Racing moving up into 2nd. So the Stig still in pole position here. But Yanis Racing is our Shredded Knight coming in 2nd and 3rd place there at the end of the driving field here on that first qualifying lap. So our qualifying lap right now is a 2:06.829, and that is almost a second faster than Divisions 2 qualifying fastest time. So, oh boy, these boys are cooking around St. Croix today. All right, we are going to try and stick with our front pack here. These guys are quite spread out right now, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to track everybody, but we will do our absolute best to do so. Alright, so it's a Stig here right now. He's got 4/10 of a second over Yanis Racing in pole position currently. Provisional, that is. Go Racing Lab, says Kenneth. Appreciate you, my guy. We love to see the fans come in. We love to see the fans come in and cheer on their team, their teammates, their family members, their brothers, sisters, moms, dads, whatever the case may be. In some cases, maybe even grandmas or grandpas. Straight facts. I know on my team we have drivers that are in their 60s and 70s. So sim racing really is not secluded to a specific age group. That is for sure. Alright, Stig coming back around here for his second time around. We're about 6.5 minutes into qualifying here, so these guys get a couple more cracks at this yet. And to see if he makes an improvement. He does actually improve that lap. And where we go, there we go. Dino comes through. He's going to be in 4th place. Mr. SBS goes back up into 2nd place there. And I'm really having a hard time tracking these guys. Teasbap comes across at 7, finalizes up into 6. Lucas takes 7th away from Teasbap. Ram Apex GT is in 10th place. Helix is in 10th there. Let's see if we can get Yanis coming across here. He doesn't find an improvement, and neither does Shredded Knight that time around. Super consistent laps though, however, between the two guys, and they're not unfamiliar with each other. We've seen those two working together quite a bit here throughout the season, and this is another one of these tracks where teamwork could make the dream work. Here, bump drafting and slipstreaming can definitely pay off in this particular race if it's done properly, but we didn't really see much of that in Division 3. Division 3 was kind of a free-for-all style race, and then it was the boxing gloves were out, and the referees were full force, and it was battle on in Division 3 here today. So let's see what Division 2 has for us here. You know, these guys we may see starting off that exactly what we're talking about is, you know, not necessarily battling, but working together to try and catch up that next pack or that next car. We may see that happening here in this race. Again, just the drivers think a little bit differently in Division 2 compared to Division 3. It's you know, Division 3 is basically a lobby full of, you know, low A+ and high A drivers essentially. The lobby 2 is basically full of A+ drivers. Various ranges of the A+ driver range. Obviously, that's a big range of DR. And then lobby 1 is a whole lot of high range A+ and S rated drivers. So the S rating means GT7 World Tour drivers, basically. So yeah, I mean, that just goes to show at the kind of competitiveness here this season in this field. And you know, it was open for up to 5 divisions this season. We just didn't get the driver numbers for 5 divisions this season, but we could have had upwards of 5 divisions this season, which of course would allow for our top tier drivers right down to our brand new you know, learning rookie academy drivers. So we'll see what next season has in store from Pure Racing League, that's for sure. All right, Mr. SBS is still in 2nd place. Yanis and Sir Shred here coming through right now. They are going to... Helix improves, Shredda improves, Yancelot also improves. Does Lucas improve? No. So Shredda moves up into 2nd place, only 3/10 of a second behind our current pole sitter, the Stig, right now. So the Stig has been holding on to that pole lap here right from the get-go. He did improve that lap, however, last time around to 2:06.513, and he seems to be just shredding a little bit of time off each time around the racetrack. So we'll see if he can improve that lap again this time around. Yanis Racing and Sir Shredda looking good here. Mr. SBS looking very strong as well. Dino there in 5th place, but finalized in 6th. 3/10 of a second in behind. We got Round Apex GT less than a tenth behind Finalized. We got Lucas less than, well, 3/100ths behind Round Apex GT here at 8th place right now. T-Bop is 3/10 of a second behind Lucas, and Halix is only a tenth in behind T-Bop. So from like 4th to 10th place, we're literally separated by 1 second, if that. So yeah, this is a tight qualifying field here in Division 2. Lucas parked into the pits. One of those drivers that competed in that 24 hours of Daytona here this weekend. I think that race literally just finished up not that long ago as well. So alright, let's stick on board with Stig here. He is our front driver essentially in the field here right now in qualifying. He's going to be the first one to take the checkered flag here in qualifying. So we're going to sit on board with him here as he's just kind of through the final S's leading into Jay's corner here right now. And it's led by a short straightaway. I would say maybe, I don't know, 500, 600 meter straightaway, and then into a very sweeping high-speed corner, mid-speed to high-speed corner here. And depending on the line and the angle you take, depends really on kind of the exit you get out of the corner. So are we going to see another improvement here? It was a 206.8, super consistent there from the Stig. We've got, I think, Mr. SBS is a Shredda here. Oh, Mr. SBS made a mistake. So we got Shredda here getting around him there. And good job by Mr. SBS just to get out of the way there. So we're going to see where everybody settles out here shortly. We're just going to try and catch as many as we can coming through. No, it wasn't Mr. SBS. It might have been Dino that we were that was in behind there. Finalized is finished. Dino is still on a flyer, and he is up a little bit here. He's up enough to get ahead of Finalized for sure. If he can maintain that a little bit of an improvement he's sitting on here right now. So the final corner is really crucial. He gets a little bit of grass on his braking there, but it didn't seem to affect the car. And he's pushing. He used every millimeter and a little extra there on the exit, and it's a 207.072, and it's actually good enough to put him up into 3rd place. So that was a great final flying lap there from Dino. That was a doozy. Alright, so it's going to be Stig in pole position, 3/10 over Sir Shredda Knight, who's got 2/10 over our lab's Dino. He's got 1/10 of a second over his teammate, Mr. SBS, who's got just under a 10th of a second over Yanis Racing. From there, it is less than a 10th to finalize. Basically, we're separated by 1.5 seconds from 1st to 10th place. So if you line the cars up nose to tail, that's basically the cars lined up nose to tail in a line from 1st to 10th place. So that was a good qualifying run right there from our drivers. We're just going to take some pictures of our results in case they're needed. Just in case. Hola, hello. How do we do today? Alright, we're going to attempt to bring YouTube back up again. Pretty sure I had dump truck glitch. That's the first time I've heard it said like that. Alright, that's interesting. That's interesting. All right. We're just giving a driver an opportunity to reset some equipment here. We have one of the drivers, you guys can see the chat there, looking to reset some equipment here, having some issues. So one of the drivers actually sending a tip to him there as well. So, and then that's exactly kind of what these guys and gals are doing here. And it looks like we're getting started here. So looks like looks like everything is ready to go. So with that being said, let's get to racing. We're just going to get everything up and then we'll move it back over to the other screen here. Alright. Division 2 Racing from Pure Racing League. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, GT45 Gaming, family-friendly broadcast. Welcome in. If you're just tuning in or waiting for green to go, kick them tires, light them fires. Division 2 Racing starts now. Alright, and we are off, and everybody gets a good, clean start there. We see no false starts, and so Shredda gets a good jump there, and he's going to take over the race lead from our pole sitter, the Stig, right off the hop here. So he is going to jump into the race lead, and he is going to try and drive away the Stig down into second place. We got Dino right there in third place. We've got Finalized and Mr. SBS, Teasbap, Ram Impact GT, all tucked in together here as we head towards turn number 30. Yeah, and here we go as we turn the corner. Everybody gets through nice and tidy here. Great racing, nice tight close quarters racing. Lucas just tucked in here right now in 10th place in the back of the field here at the moment. Again, he was having a little bit of concern about his wheels, so he just may be feeling out the condition of his racing car right now. We've got Shredda trying to get an immediate gap here. He's trying to open it up, but the Stig's not making it easy here. It's just about a second. So up Hill here for the first time. We got Dino being contested here by Finalized as well. Finalized looking to try and get third place away from Dino here, but Dino has the inside line coming into the corner. We got another battle a little further back. Are we going to see the cut back there? And Teasbap gets a great run out of the corner in behind Finalized there, and I thought he was going to take a look there. Finalized takes a look down the inside. That's covered off there by Dino, and all four drivers just settled back into line here. So quick little jostling for positions here, but we got Teasbap tucked right in underneath Finalized, and Finalized is going to try to push through here. He's got somebody pushing, so here we go. He is going to get ahead of Dino. The question is Teasbap also able to get the position, helping Finalized get through here? It does appear to be that way. We got 2-3 wide here almost coming through the left. The right-hander, big slide there from Dino. He's trying to get down on the power, and Teasbap and Finalized, both with a little bit of help from Teasbap there, get through in front of Dino. So Dino drops 2 spots there real quick. Around Apex GT here in 6th place. He's being contested by Yanis Racing, and this is a battle for 6th and 7th place here at the end of lap number 1. A little bit of a touch there between the two guys. And Yanis slots just up ahead of Ram Apex GT there. We've got, contact as Ram Apex GT goes back up the inside there to respond. And we got a plethora, a handful of drivers diving into pit lane there. So it looks like we got the bottom half of our field just dove into pit lane. So Shredda in the lead here. He's got 2.6 seconds over Finalized. So a little bit of scrapping there in the front pack has really paid off for Shredda early on. We got Teasbap up into 3rd place here right now, and he has just half a tenth in behind Finalized at the moment. Ram Apex GT here sitting strong in 4th place, still defending here against Yanis Racing. So a good healthy little scrap here for 4th and 5th place very early on in this race. We're only on lap 2 here, keeping this in mind later in the other. So this is getting quite spicy very early on already today. Got Yanis, he's tucked in. I mean, he's looking right now. I guess the bigger question is, does he decide to play nice here, work together with Ram Apex, or does he again try to make an offensive attack here coming into this uphill left-hander? Well, we're going to find out right now. I don't think he's quite close enough to make an attack here coming up into the uphill left-hander. So I think he's just going to have to settle in and try and get a good exit on the top side of the turn here and try to see if he can get a run on the driver coming downhill into this sweeping right-hander. Just no immediate pressure right now. I think he's just, he tried to get that quick early position, realized, hey, this driver's not going to just give it to me like this. Let's not fight too much here. It's too early in the race to be costing that much time. I think maybe he's just settled in here for the time being to try and gain up back on that pack up ahead. So the Stig, a little bit of a rough racing start here, but he was the first of those drivers to jump in. So now they're on a different tire compound, and the gap has opened up a little bit. We got Lucas here in 8th place, right in behind. Halix in behind him, and Mr. SBS in 10th place. So Lucas is surrounded by the R-Lab drivers here right now, with the exception of actually all of them are there. Never mind. I thought one stayed out, but it looks like they all went into pit lane there. So Shredda here in the lead, 3.4 seconds over Finalized. Teasbap still chasing here in 3rd place. He's closed that gap up a tiny little bit. It's about 2 car lengths now between him and second place. Got Ram Apex GT. He's only 2.6 seconds in behind that podium up front right now, and he's got Yanis Racing right on top of him. But again, Yanis tried to make the early position change here, realized that it wasn't going to be the easy task. He got it, he lost it, decided to stop fighting for it, and I think these two are working together now. And I think really the goal here, big moment there from Yanis Racing, getting back on the throttle there. He managed to collect that car up and try to snap on him there. And I think really the collective goal here between these two right now is to try and close up that gap to that podium group up in front. Big, again, trying to get down on the power and just big slide in that car there. Stig coming up into the left-hander here right now. He's got 10 seconds. Obviously, these drivers will pit. We've got Dino and Lucas here. This is a potential battle for 7th and 8th position as Lucas is tucked right up underneath that rear wing. And he's got Helix and teammate just in behind him as well. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Game ready. It shouldn't work that way, but it does for some reason. The Frankenstein setup. What can I say? So we got Mr. SBS and Helix here in 9th and 10th place. I can't remember who the other R-Lab driver right up top of my head was for some reason there. Alright, so Shredder Knight here in the lead of the race. 3.5 seconds. We have finalized and Teasbab here in 2nd and 3rd place, and these two kind of have a decision to make as well. Teasbab's closed back in on finalized, so now does he want to fight with the Flying Fox Racing driver, or does he want to work together with the Flying Fox Racing driver and try to close up that 3.5 second gap to the race leader? And we'll have to wait and see what those guys decide to do. But again, Yanis has made his way back around Ram Apex GT here, so an opportunity must have arose, or a mistake may have been made a little bit there maybe, and he found his way around. So now he's up in front of Ram Apex GT trying to close that gap down to that front pack. We got the Stig here in 6th place. He is closing the gap up. It was 10 seconds, now it's down to 9.6. We got Dino and Lucas here nose to tail, and I know Lucas quite well here. I know this driver extremely well, and he is a smart racer. He realizes right now where they're sitting, working together is going to be of more advantage to them than battling. You're going to see him use the slipstream here to try and get the position on Dino, but a quick efficient pass, not costing either driver any time there at all. Gets into the corner and continues on the racetrack. So now he's going to try and track down the Stig up ahead there. So I thought he was going to give a little push there to Dino, but maybe he decided Dino's pace was a little bit off, and he's going to try and reel in the Stig up ahead here now. So slowly but surely, Lucas 369 trying to pick through the R-Lab esports drivers here right now. Absolutely, very quick. All the drivers from the R-Lab Esports group, they're very efficient racers. This is a very competitive lobby. The drivers are very closely paced in this lobby as well. So it really is any driver's game at any given week. It comes down to the qualifying is really important in this lobby, and lobby 1 especially as well for that grid position. But different strategies at play here. Like again, the R-Lab guys, the whole bottom half of the field basically all jumping into pit lane at the same time. So the whole R-Lab team and Lucas on one strategy, and the top half of our field from Shredder down into Ram Apex GT to 5th place, they're on a different set of strategies here in this race. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these two different strategies play out at the end of our 25 laps here today. So it's about an hour and 2 minutes or so for the race, and then once we get our Division 3 set up, our Division 1 lobby set up, it'll be much of the same thing. We'll talk to some of the drivers in between, and we'll kick off Division 1. So lots of racing coming and still to go here from Pure Racing League today. And if you haven't done so already, if you're just new, just tuning in, don't forget to like and share this out for us, especially over on the YouTube and Facebook channels. And if you're not a follower or a subscriber and you love what Pure Racing League is putting down, you want to see more great races like this, just hit that follow or subscribe button. Free to do. All of it's free to do. It costs you nothing, and you'll get notified every time we go live here from Pure Racing League, so you don't miss another great moment of the action. We have Masters Series coming next weekend for round 4, and we're about 5 weeks out from the end of our seasons here from Pure Racing League, so it's getting close to crowning our Season 2 champions, that's for sure. Alright, so we have a position change here. I'm too busy yammering and missing the action on the racetrack, so my apologies. But T-Spap has gotten the job done on Finalize, so T-Spap has moved up into P2, and that now has Finalized in behind there in 3rd place. Now, you know, maybe just a little bobble or mistake was made. Maybe it was just a transition change for position due to that fact, but they have a 4.5 second gap to Sir Shredder Knight, so right now Sir Shredder Knight is putting on good pace to continue to try and further the gap that he has on the field. Giannis Racing, he's starting to close in. He got around Ram Apex GT, and now he's been trying to work on tracking down T-Spap and Finalize up in front. He's got the gap down to just under 3 seconds currently. Ram Apex GT is doing a pretty good job of pacing Giannis here as well. 1.5 second gap in behind. The Stig, he was 10 seconds behind when he came out of pit lane. He's got this gap torn down to 6.7, so he is moving around the track here right now. Lucas369, who's currently the fastest driver on the racetrack right now, fastest lap being a 2:08.575. Obviously we're going to see that come down as the race progresses, as we're very early stages. We haven't seen the soft tires come out yet. So he is 2.8 seconds in behind the Stig, and he has opened up a quick gap on Mr. SBS, Dino, and Helix here as well in behind in 8th, 9th, and 10th place. Keeping in mind, all of these drivers have made a pit stop already. So we've seen a 3-stop style strategy in Division 3. Don't suspect we're going to see a whole lot different in Division 2. Obviously, a lot of the drivers have teammates in higher divisions as well, so you know that information train throughout the teams is being processed down to each of the drivers, and their strategies are kind of being developed around, you know, suggestive strategies from certain members of the team that you're racing on, so, or community you're practicing with, or whatever the case may be. We do have independent drivers here in the series as well, but for the most part, that's usually how it works. You know, there's a couple 2 or 3 strategies put out by whoever does that within each individual racing team, and then it's kind of up to each driver to decide how that strategy works with their driving style. But our lab, you know, the Racing Lab Esports guys, they always use the same strategy. They're always on the same page, so it's great teamwork. It's great teamwork, that's for sure. Love to see great teamwork. So Sir Shredder here is in the lead, and we got an interesting message on the YouTube channel. We're going to read it out here in just a second. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing too much on the race. So watch out for the Norwegian teenager, Mr. SBS. He won the first Division 2 race and recently won the individual part of the Nordic Masters in Norway. In Norway there. So congratulations to start off with Mr. SBS there for winning the Nordic Masters as well. But we know he's a quick driver. You know, we definitely, this whole division's quick. So right now it's too hard to say who is in a good position to win this race. But so Shredder is looking like he's in a pretty good position to win this race. We can continue to cleanly open that gap up on the field. But it's too early to tell with pit stops. Lots of pit stops yet to happen here on the racetrack. T-Spap finalized here in 2nd and 3rd place. T-Spap looking sharp here today. He has not had maybe the best season, I think, start to his season either. I mean, I don't know this driver super well on a personal level, but I've seen this driver through several leagues and organizations, and he's a very efficient racer as well. So I feel like, you know, he probably feels like he hasn't had the greatest start to the season, but he is looking sharp here today. I'd say in Quad B. We've got Ram Apex GT here in 5th place. He's been having a tough season here too so far. It's been a slow start for him as well this season, but he's looking pretty sharp here at the front end of the field right now this week. We got the Stig here in 6th. We got Lucas trying to close in 7th. It's 2.2, so he has eaten a little bit of that gap away, but not about 0.5 of a second, about a half a second here that last time around. We got Mr. SBS leading the charge here with Dino and Helix just in behind here. So these three can just link up and create that train. Look outfield. Look outfield. Go Lucas, says Leo. Alright, so Shredder here, moving, grooving, heading down the S's, heading towards Bridge Hill here, and just very smooth, consistent, calm, patient racing coming from this driver right now. He looks solid on the racetrack. Got T-Spap here again. He's trying to lose Finalized here, but Finalized is not letting him get away. Finalized is just keeping close. He's staying close enough to potentially take advantage of a mistake or get a good run and even make a pass back on T-Spap here. But again, the more they battle, the more time they are going to lose to the leaders. So it's kind of up to them how they're going to sort that situation out. Yanis is here in 4th place. That gap is kind of settled down at 2.9 seconds here, so he's not really closing in on that group up front here anymore. And as it looks like most of these drivers are coming near the end of this first stint here, we're probably going to be seeing a series of pit stops coming from a large portion of these drivers, which means the Stig here in 6th place should probably be potentially looking to get a race lead from these guys when he comes around due to that different pit strategy that the R-Lab and Lucas is on here. So Lucas is 2.5 seconds in behind, so the Stig has done a good job to gain that half a second back from Lucas chasing in behind here as we navigate around the latter part of the racetrack here. We're heading through these S's that lead us up into Jay's corner, the final corner here, and moving and grooving. Just moving and grooving. You can see Ram Apex GT is now in visual reference of the Stig here. So the Stig has been doing great work at tracking the pack back down after that pit stop. And there we go. So the Ram Apex GT is going to jump into pit lane. Lucas is going to also jump into pit lane. Alright, so Shredder stays out. T-Spap and Finalized stay out. Just as we are taking a look, we got a little battle for 2nd and 3rd place here between Finalized and T-Spap. Finalized is going to get the job done. T-Spap's just going to let him go. He's not even going to contest that position. Again, trying not to cost each other time here. And he's just going to slot right back in behind. So I feel like T-Spap made a very similar pass on Finalized a couple laps ago, and that's pretty much probably how that transition went. But now Yanis is closing. 1.3 seconds here. So just that tiny little switch of position here between those two drivers allowed Yanis Racing to close up a full second plus on these two up in front here. So even though it was a agreeable battle and not a conceded position change there, it still cost those drivers enough time from that chasing driver in behind. So we got Mr. SBS, Dino, Halix, all the R-Lab drivers now in a row here again, with Lucas making his pit stop. We got Ram Apex GT coming out of pit lane, and we got Lucas ripping around Bridge Hill sideways here out of pit lane as well, currently sitting in last place, but he has cleared 2 of his pit stops already today. Alright, so Sir Shredder has 7.5 seconds right now over 2nd and 3rd place, Finalized and T-Spap. These two have been playing quite nice, in my opinion, here so far in the race. They have been switching that position around a little bit between the two of them, but it's been very clean, efficient battling, and not too time-costing battling for the most part. So Yanis now 2.2 seconds back in behind these two. So now as these two have settled back into their rhythm here again in the line, they're starting to open the gap back up on Yanis Racing. So this is an interesting race we got going here so far. Alright, I'm just waiting to see when our front group here is going to pit, and I'm assuming it's going to be relatively soon here. So the Stig he's right there, 5th place, 3.7 seconds in behind, and I suspect that we're going to see him and the remainder of the team pit right when those leaders pit. I think I'm starting to read what these guys are putting down here. Ram Apex right tucked in behind there. He's just tucked in 0.2 of a second underneath Halix here currently. He got a great run coming out of turn 1 right there, and Halix got a little bit of a wide exit there. He was flirting with disaster in the grass there, but he managed to keep the car underneath of him. That is going to allow Ram Apex GT to get the position on Halix here, and Lucas is coming. It might be a retirement here coming from Lucas 36. Yeah, there was definitely no need to bring the car back into pit lane there, but it does look like he has brought it in for some form or reason. So the crew taking a look at that racing car right now, and we may be down one of our drivers here to mechanical failure in that racing car. We'll have to keep our eye on that and see what's going on there. got finalized here in second place. We got Teasbap in third. Finalizes got a second gap. He broke the toe actually on Teasbap here essentially. Yanis is 3.2 seconds in behind. The Stig is 2.2 seconds in behind. And we got Mr. SBS here is 9.3. We got Dino here is half a second in behind teammate Ram Apex GT, who's now trying to get involved with the Racing Lab dudes and make some passes here, is in 8th place. We got Halix at 9th, and yeah, that team is looking at that car. There's definitely an issue in that number 36 Lexus RCF here this weekend, and that is unfortunate. You hate to see it. Yeah, it is confirmed. We definitely have a mechanical failure in the Lucas 369 car, and that is super unfortunate. Teasbap getting a crazy entry into pit lane there. He was slipping side to side there as he was going to go through. So Finalize is going to go through. He's going to take the race lead here for at least a lap anyways as he continues on. The Stig goes around again. So our race leaders are now coming in. What is going to happen to the backpack? All of the R-Lab guys are going to go through, and Halix is going to go through as well. And where do they all come out as our race lead? The front half of the pack comes out right kind of in between everything here. So there we go. The whole group is all clustered back up together pretty much here again. And it is... Oh, Nosetail Racing. We got somebody in the wall back there. Is that Yanis? No, that wasn't Yanis. Oh, it's Teasbap. No! Not sure what happened to poor Teasbap there. Not that we want to, you know... Oh, just broke free on him around the corner there on those cold tires, and he did actually a really good job of keeping it out of the wall there, but he had to let the field go by before he could back it up and get it back on track. So that's just an unfortunate moment there for Teasbap. You hate to see it. Those cold racing hard tires just absolutely causing that car just to lose that traction around the corner there, and the slowest spin ever for the poor racer. Ram Apex GT in the third place. Mr. Shredda is now trying to get around the R-Lab guys. The R-Lab guys are 3 wide coming out of the corner. That was not ideal. One of them went sideways. Let's see how all that mixed up here. We got Yanis Racing here in 6th. We got Halix here. That was just an unfortunate little doozy here. Everybody just coming into the corner. Tight quarters racing right here. Little contact from one teammate on another there. He kind of got him spun around there. And oh, that was a big hit there too, unfortunately. And the other teammate, of course, sitting back and waiting. That was obviously not intentional. Just tight quarters racing. You have 5 cars all fighting for space in one corner at the same time, and unfortunately, just one of them made a little mistake there, and a little bit of chaos up at the end of Bridge Hill there. But everybody's got themselves sorted out, and we're all moving back in. Back in there and moving, having. Yeah, it is definitely a equipment issue here for our number 36 Lexus here today. That is really unfortunate. Unfortunately, the issue is just growing and is getting extremely hard to maintain car control, and for the safety of the remainder of the racing field, he's decided to retire the car for the remainder of the race here. So can appreciate that call in that respect from a competitor. No competitor wants to just park it and call it a day, that's for sure, but when your equipment's not working properly, sometimes it's just better to say, you know what, we don't want to ruin anybody's day today. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here from Lucas today. Unfortunate for Lucas, but, you know, big boy call also from Lucas there. So, you know, hopefully next round's a better round. I mean, get that car in the shop, and they're all fixed up, and they'll be ready to go for round number 5. Alright, so the Stig, 8.9 seconds in the lead here right now. Ram Apex GT's got 4 seconds over Sir Shredda Knight, who is in the middle of a battle at the moment here, because I'm not paying that much attention apparently. There's a lot going on this racetrack right now. With Vitalize, he goes up the inside, up into Bridge Hill there. Oh, that was not a clean exit there for Yanis. He had to get that car all over the place, and unfortunately for Finalize, he had nowhere to go. He got kind of collected up in that slide there from So Shredder there, and that ended up actually costing him a position to Yanis Racing as well. So yeah, now Finalize goes from 3rd to 5th place here in just a couple of corners, and that again, you know, just close, tight quarters racing. It gets very difficult when you have 2, 3, 4 cars all fighting for the same space in a corner, and little mistakes sometimes create that accordion chaos effect. You know, it happens. So Shredder, Yanis, Finalize, great battle here. This is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place right now on the racetrack here on lap 11. We're going to stick with this fight here just for a moment's time because it's a spicy one as these drivers are coming down through the downhill S's heading in towards Jay's corner. And that was a massive run there from Finalize. He got a big boy run coming out of the corner, and he's going to take a look up the inside. Is he going to try and get the job done here? But that was a great defensive line there from Yanis Racing. He cuts off the opening, and Finalize just settles right back in behind. So we are sticking with this here. Now, we've seen Yanis and Shredder tend, again, to work together quite a bit here so far this season. So are we going to see a bit of that here again as, oh, big slide there from Yanis and Finalize, made sure he left a little extra space there. You can see him make a hard right steering input there just so he didn't get collected with contact here again this time, and that was a smart quick reactive move there that actually gained him the position on Yanis Racing. So now he's trying to work on Shredder Knight, and in the process the Stig is closed up on this fight. So the Stig is here. I'm here, boys, let's play. Alright, so this has now become a 4-way battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. We've lost another driver here as well. I think. Nope, we haven't. Never mind. I think one just might have pit or made a mistake there. I thought we had 11. We still have. We only had 10. We're okay. We're okay. So much going on side by side, too deep here as we head into the Bridge Hill left-hander. And are the drivers going to get through? Finalize, trying to attack on Shredder, gets the job done, minds himself back ahead of Shredder. So Finalize gets it done this time around in the same corner. He moves up into 3rd place. The Stig has, up into 2nd place. Shredder into 3rd, and the Stig now up into 4th. He's up into the 3rd. Here now, and he's going to try and take advantage here and move a position here as well. So these 4 are absolutely fighting here right now for these podium positions here, and we're only at the midway point of the race, ladies and gentlemen, so this is going to be a beauty. And we got the Stig on the inside of Yanis here, and he should be able to get the job done. He does. He slots right back in the line, 1 position further ahead. So the Stig now in 4th place. That puts Yanis back down into 5th place, and this is a great battle here between these 4 drivers right now. It is starting to slowly separate itself out. Finalize quickly trying to open up a gap here on that pack, and he is out. He's like, I'm out later. 1.1 seconds, already broken a toe. We got the Stig now working on Shredder, and he gets the job done in Jay's corner, moving up the inside, and he's going to now move up into the final podium position here as we start lap number 13. And that was some great battle in between these 4 drivers here right now, and I bet you this one settles down here just a little bit. We got Shredder in 4th, we got Yanis in 5th, we got Helix here in 6th place with Mr. SBS right in behind, and Dino just tracking a little bit further behind here, 5 seconds back. He's back here after that unfortunate turn 1 spin there, finds himself 7 seconds in behind in 9th place. Lots of racing left though. We still got half of a race left here for these drivers, so anything can happen. Alright, so it's Ram Apex GT. He's got the race lead here. He's got 5.6 seconds right now over Finalized here in 2nd place. But that time is quickly fading. As you can see, that time is coming down as we come up Bridge Hill there. It's coming down in chunks. We got the Stig coming in behind here, 3rd place. He's taking chunks out of Finalized here. So very quickly might see a battle here between Finalized and the Stig. We still got Shredder and Yanis in behind, chasing here in 4th and 5th place as well. But they got it up against them. They're on a slightly different tire compound at the moment than the rest of the guys that they're battling with. We got Helix and Mr. SBS here in 6th, 7th. Dino in 8th. T's Bap there in 9th place. So again, still too early to predict who's got the best shot at the race win here today as pit stop sequences. We still got a couple of sets of pit stops to go here in the next 12 laps, so it is really hard to say which driver currently right now as the race stands is in the best position for the race win. Finalized here in 2nd place. He's looking solid today. This is a driver we definitely need to be watching out for here today. We got the Stig here in 3rd. We've got Shredder in 4th. We've got Yanis in 5th. We've got Helix here in 6th place. We've got Mr. SBS right in behind. And then by the sounds of it, this is a very young sim racer here and going to be a very potential great future for this racer here in Gran Turismo 7. Obviously, if that is the case, we got Dino here in 8th place. Got T-Bap here in 9th position. And again, unfortunately for Lucas, a retired car today. Alright, so Ram Apex GT coming into pit lane. He's going to relinquish that race lead to finalized here. The Stig here in 2nd place. He's closing in, and he's almost got that car into slipstream range here as we head down the S's and towards Bridge Hill. And, I mean, this man is on a mission right now. He may be in a good position to potentially a challenge for a race win here as things are kind of shaping up right now. We got Halix back up in the 3rd. We got Mr. SBS in 4th. So Shredda and Yanis right there in 5th and 6th place, and they're still nose to tail, chilling, working together. We got Dino here in 7th position. We got T-Bap now up into 8th place with that pit stop from Ram Apex, and he comes out in 9th place after his pit stop here. So it is finalized here. He gets a good exit coming out of that downhill sweeper there, and he's going to get a good run out of the corner there. The Stick got a good run too, and he's just nipping a little bit of time out of finalize here. He's not quite in the slipstream range. He's just outside of that that free pull up to the driver in front of you, so to speak. And he needs to be a couple tenths of a second closer, and he can start to feel the effects of that slipstream in behind our race leader. So he does work that back in underneath a second here. So we're going to stick with this for a minute. We don't have anything immediately drawing on the racetrack right now. Everybody's a little bit separated, not by much, but a little bit. And, you know, just nipping away the time. So it just goes to show how equally paced the drivers really are. I mean, the time is just only being taken away at hundredths of a second at a time. But you can tell he's in a slip here now. You can see the time is starting to come down in chunks. It got within 9/10 of a second there. Now he's in 3/4. It'll be down to 6/10 almost by the time we get around turn 1 here. It's all going to come down to how each driver navigates the exit of turn 1. We're down back into 3/4 of a second, so a good exit there from finalized, but definitely starting to feel some pressure here from the Stig. Halix and Mr. SBS in 3rd and 4th place here, and they're still making sure that they're monitoring where Yanis and Sir Shredda are here on the racetrack, because they're only about 1.5 seconds in behind currently. Dino here in 7th. T-Bap making a pit stop here in 9th position as well. So after that, a little bit of a tense moment there on the hard tires in the turn 1 for T-Bap. They're just losing control of the car a little bit in the world's slowest spin. He may be altering his strategy a little bit to try and make up some track time here. Now, it's very tough when you're in a lobby of this caliber. Making up a mistake like that costs 10 seconds or so of time is going to be very difficult to do. So going to try and do it potentially in pit lane. The Stig pushing hard here. He's got the gap closed up here to the point where he's maybe thinking about an offensive attack here on finalized. So within 6/10 of a second, we've seen that down to half a second, and he's in the tow. I mean, he is there. Finalized is more than aware that he's there. He moves over, breaks that slipstream. He's going to move back over across into the line to take the kink here and set up for this next corner. But all that work to try and shake the Stig is not happening here. He's just closed right in, and within a car length basically now as we come around the corner. The Stig got outrun out of that corner, and he is now applying some pressure here to finalize, and this is a battle for the race lead here on lap number 15. So it is between finalized and the Stig here at the moment. And as we're coming around the final S here, heading towards Jay's corner, I mean, they are separated by a car. That is it. One Lexus is all that's separating these two at the moment here. And as we come around Jay's corner, it's even less than a Lexus separating the two cars. So nose to tail as we come across the start-finish line here to start lap number 16. And a pressure on. So the Stig on the backside finalized here. He's coming around turn number 1. Is he going to look for an opportunity to make the pass here? Let's stick with this. Let's see what happens here. Giannis is doing a really great job at managing that car length separation between him and the Stig at the moment. The Stig could just be playing a little bit possum here right now, you know, apply some pressure, see if you can get a reaction out of the leader, see if you can get him to make a reactive move to something that you're doing in behind him, or maybe just assessing to see if there's a weak spot in his lap that he could try and take advantage of, or maybe he's just chilling and waiting for a mistake to happen so he can have an easier opportunity to try and make a move. It's hard to say what's going through his head here right now, but he closed up finalized quite quickly, so he definitely has the pace. It's just what is going through the driver's mind there is just challenging for the lead here. This pack is getting a little crazy here. We got 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place, all nose to tail here as we come out of bridge into the downhill right-hand sweep of the corner here. And right now it's Helix doing a great job. He's got a bit of a gap on the other 3 cars at the moment. That gap is about a second, so he's just kind of broken the toe from the battling pack in behind him. Now that battling pack is being led by Mr. SBS, but Yanis and Shredda have other ideas here as they're going to push through to get that position on Mr. SBS. So Yanis and Shredda again working together here, trying to close up the gaps on the cars in front, trying to grab more positions. And Mr. SBS was going for a little bit of a wild ride there, but he held on to it, and he doesn't even really lose touch with that group there. He lost maybe a couple tenths there off the initial slide into the grass there, but boy, he got that thing back on track and right back in the fight real quick here. So still in the slipstream here, so no need to panic there. Just a little bit of time cost there for him. Helix, Shredda, Yanis. Oh, look at that. We got the slipstream games going on. So Shredda is going to look him out the outside. He's going to keep him short and tight to the inside of the corner, and he's trying to set this up here to get it done on the outside, and that was textbook outside passing by Shredda right there. We got to see that again, ladies and gentlemen. That was a beautiful move, and Yanis is going to follow him through there, but inside line there for Helix there. He's going to try and defend, but Yanis does manage to get the job done. All right, let's go take another look at this. All right, so this is textbook outside passing 101. Keep the driver as tight for as long as you can. Pull over into the optimal turn in and maintain the racing line. By doing that, he's forced the Stig really short into the corner, which means he had to use extra braking to get into the corner, and by Shredda pulling back out into the racing line, he got a full run through the racing line there. Didn't compromise any speed, any pace through the corner, and that is why Shredda was able to get the job done so easily on the outside of Helix. Sorry, it's not the Stig, Helix. That was textbook outside passing at St. Quabi into turn 1 right there by Shredda. It doesn't get any better than that. That was a beautiful pass. Helix here in 5th place. We got Mr. SBS. He's tucked right back in behind. He's like, all right, let's go get these boys. That's enough of that. We've got Dino here in 7th place. We've got Apex GT here in 8th. And oh boy, we've got the Team Hypre car now in pit lane as well. And we got another car being looked at by their racing crew. Oh boy, 2 cars down here in our Division 2 race today. And whew, you hate to see it, chat. You hate to see it. Alright, finalized. Still battling it out with the Stig here. This is a good, healthy battle for the lead here. Now, again, I feel like the Stig has the pace to really get this done if he wants to. I think he's just chilling right now. I think he's sitting in behind. He's probably short-shifting the car a little bit, probably sipping on some fuel. Maybe trying to stretch his tires out an extra lap by just chilling in behind here. I'm not sure what he's thinking, but, you know, all potential possibilities. Or he just knows that he's on a quite different strategy than the rest of the field, and he's just trusting what the team has come up with for that race strategy today. It's really hard to say, but great racing going on. So Shredda and Yanis in 3rd and 4th place here. They fell back a little bit in this stint, and then now they're starting to push back through. So Mr. SBS here in 5th. We got Dino in 6th. Helix has decided to come into pit lane, and that's going to bring him out into 8th place. Around Apex GT is going to grab that position on the way through. Alright, so finalized, and the Stig here. We're coming into the uphill left-hander at the end of the bridge, and I suspect we're going to be seeing pit stops coming from both these drivers within the next couple of laps, and that's just obviously judged off of what we can see on the screen in front of us there. So we'll have to wait and see. what these guys decide to do. We're at about the midway point of the track in that corner right there. So Shreda and Yanis here still glued to the hips here, nose to tail. We got Mr. SBS and Dino there in 5th and 6th place. A little bit of separation there between the teammates. Apex GT ahead of Halix here right now. It's half a tenth, but Halix is closing in on Ram Apex GT and closing in quite quickly here. So let's stick with this, as I feel like we're going to have a potential position change or a battle for position here anyway. So this is for 7th and 8th place. And woof! A little bit of room was left there by Ram Apex GT, and Halix took advantage of the opportunity, and that was a very patient opportunity, clean pass right there. That was a great pass right there between Halix and Ram Apex GT as well. It looked like a little bit of a late move, but at the same time, the door was left open there. So patient, calculated, and executed there by Halix to get around Apex GT there. So we've seen some different styles of passes here and some nice passes here in Division 2 as well. So we got Fuel going in to finalize. So Shredder's going to move up into 2nd. Yanis will take 3rd place over Mr. SBS coming into pit lane, Dino coming into pit lane. Halix went into pit lane last time around, so we're definitely not going to see this driver coming into pit lane this time around. Ram Apex GT pit 2 or 3 laps ago, but he's not. He's on the hard tire, so I can't see that he's going to stick this stint out too entirely long. But he is going to go around again. All right, so Stig leading the charge, almost a 15-second gap here right now over Shreda. Got Yanis racing here in 3rd. So if we remember from our Division 3 race, our race leader there had a 21-second gap. Pit came out about 3 seconds ahead. That was just a tire-only pit stop, no fuel. So the gap you need is 18 seconds to just come out ahead of the driver that you're trying to stay ahead of in pit lane. So right now the Stig has a 14-second gap. He needs another 4 seconds, and that's not going to help that. He's going to pick up damage there as well, and his front left tire is dead. The cords are singing on that tire. It is so dead. I'm sure, will be coming into pit lane here at the end of this lap. That is just bleeding time. So Shredder here in 2nd, Yanis in 3rd, finalized in 4th. We got Halix in 5th, Ram Apex and Mr. SBS here now, battling out for position, and Mr. SBS in the same corner here. Apex GT does not leave the hole this time, so he is not going to make it easy pass here for Mr. SBS. Mr. SBS is probably just going to be looking to get a good run through the corner here. He gets a nice tight entry into the apex there, and he's just going to shoot through the inside, and that should be move done here for Mr. SBS on Ram Apex GT. Ram Apex just tucks right back in behind there, and that was a pretty good setup and execution there from Mr. SBS as well. Good racing here from Division 2 today. We got Dino here in 8th place. Okay, so Stig now coming into pit lane. So Shredder coming into pit lane. Yanis coming into pit lane. What is Finalize going to do? It's on the hard tire. Going to go around again. Okay. We've got our Labs Halix here. He's coming around. He's currently sitting in 5th place. We got 2 drivers still in pit lane, but we know that pit stop is not too long here. You can see the drivers taking some fuel. So that is definitely going to hold them in the pit box a little bit longer. So Shredder's already out. He's up and off the road. Yanis has come out here. He comes out just ahead of our Lab Halix, and it's going to be about a 1 second gap, give or take. Got our Ram Apex GT 1.7 seconds in behind, and we got Dino in 8th place here. Go Yanni and Shred, says Lucas. Alright, the Stig and Finalize, 1st and 2nd place here. These guys have been battling hard all race long, really. All stint long, I meant, not race, pardon me. Let's just check it on some information. So it is the Stig here in 1st. We got Finalized here in 2nd. We got Shreda here in 3rd. We got Yanis in 4th. We got Halix here in 5th. We got Mr. SBS in 6th. We got Apex GT here in 7th. We got Dino here in 8th. Alright, so it's the Stig, 2.5 seconds ahead of Shredda, who has just made a move on Finalize there. Now, we missed that. I'm not sure if that was just a conceded position change here or what happened there, but Shredda closing in on Finalize here. He's going to go in on the outside, coming up into this right-hand corner. I think he just got the job done on the outside. Oh, and Finalize just lost the back of the car a little bit under throttle there too. That helps Sir Shredda get through. So great move there by Sir Shredda, and that's going to put him up into second place, 2.9 seconds in behind the Stigs. Finalize finds himself in third. Yanis has 10 seconds to close up into third place. He's got Helix all over him here right now, only 0.6 of a second in behind. We've got Mr. SBS just trailing 3 seconds in behind those two. Aram Apex GT coming around the corner, 5 seconds back of them, and Dino's about 5.5 seconds back of that group. But again, we're still going to see pit stops happening here yet before the end of this race potentially. So it is currently the Stig right now looking to bring home race win. We have Sir Shredda chasing here, 2.6 seconds in behind. We've got Finalized in third place. He's got Yanis Racing chasing here in fourth. It is 9.3 seconds. We got 4 laps to go, including the one that we're on. Helix is closing in on Yanis Racing as well, so 0.6 seconds is that gap, and then it spreads out just a tiny little bit here at the back end. So it is going to be the Stig here, and it's 2.5 seconds from him to Sir Shredda. And Finalizes 3 seconds back of those guys. Now, Finalizes in a tough position here. I don't know if he's planning on making another pit stop. Right now, with an 8-second gap and 4 to go, he is definitely at risk of losing third place to Yanis Racing, but not necessarily. It all depends on what happens back here. If Helix can reel in Yanis and start battling with him a little bit, that might slow them down enough, just enough for Finalize to hold the charge off. We'll have to wait and see, but there is going to be a charge in third place here if we don't see a pit stop from Finalized here to get off that hard tire. So, interesting things are starting to happen here. Alright, so the Stig, huge exit right there. He's got 2.4 seconds on Sir Shredda. Right now, just maintaining the gap. Hasn't really let him close in, hasn't really opened it up any. It's just maintaining that gap. Finalized is in third place here. He's 4.6 seconds in behind, and that gap is now down to 7.2 seconds. So we're losing about 3 seconds a lap right now to Yanis Racing in behind, and with 4 to go, including this one now as we come across the line, because my math is bad, at 3 seconds a lap, he's going to be under fire here by the end of the next lap. Helix here in 5th place. We got Mr. SBS in 6th. We got Ram Apex GT here in 7th, and Dino is closing in 1.2 seconds in behind. So we got little battles developing here throughout the whole racetrack right now as we near the end of race number 2 today. So Shredda trying to close that gap on the Stig, 2.3 seconds. It is getting, it's going to get spicy potentially here up at the front today. Finalized 6.2 seconds in behind those two. He's got less than 6 seconds now to Yanis Racing. Yanis Racing, you can probably just see him at the end of the bridge here now as he comes up to the Bridge Hill entry. We have Helix right there in 5th place. We got Mr. SBS closing in behind these two as well in 6th. And then we got a little bit of a gap, 10 seconds, with Dino and Ram Apex GT. So Dino has made his way around Ram Apex GT and finds himself now up into 7th position. So the Stig here is 2.3 seconds ahead of Sir Shredda. Sir Shredda is doing everything he can to try and close that gap. But again, in lobbies that are so equally paced together like Division 2 is, it is so hard to make up chunks of time. And these guys are running out of time. We're going to be with 3 laps to go here as soon as these two cross the start-finish line at the end of this lap, which is coming up in about 30 seconds time or less. Alright, so as we start lap number 23, it is 2.5 seconds between first and second place. So the Stig opened up a couple tenths there on Sreda there at the end of that lap. We got finalized. He's 8.5 seconds back of those guys now, and boy, Yanis is closing in. I did say about the end of this lap is when we're going to start seeing the pressure applied on finalized from Yanis Racing here. It may be just a smidge sooner than that. We got Helix in 5th, we got Mr. SBS in 6th, we got Dino in 7th, and Apex GT in 8th place here. So let's keep it moving because the Stig is looking for a race win here today, and he has good strategy, he has good pace. He's got a chasing car that's got good strategy, good pace behind, but right now looking solid. Again, just maintaining the gap, 2.5 seconds, and has kind of just stayed steady there for the last 2 or 3 laps now. So he's doing everything right now that he needs to do to try and secure this race win here today. So Sreda in second, he's pushing, he's giving it everything he's got. But again, you know, when you're chasing a driver that's just as fast or faster than you are potentially, it is hard to make up time. Alright, so Yanis Racing here, we're going to stick with this right now because in that first basically half a racetrack, we've seen that second close down on that gap. Now it was 3.25 seconds when they crossed the start finish line here to start lap 23. The gap is now down to 1.8 seconds, sorry. So almost a second and a half now. Yanis has dipped into finalized here on this lap alone, and by the end of the lap I think the pressure is going to be on finalized here, and then he's got to worry about Helix and Mr. SBS tracking just in behind Yanis here as well. So he's in for some tough final couple laps here with soft tires absolutely bearing down the racetrack on him here. So let's see if Yanis can close up here. It's 1.3, and he just, I mean, the soft tires just have more straight line speed because they have more grip too as well. So it's just inevitable that the soft tires are naturally going to gain on the hard tires, especially in exit situations on corners. So you can see the gap's down to a second here now. So by the end of that second lap, you know, the pressure was on. We're not quite in the slipstream here from Yanis, but he's going to be there very soon. And this is for the final podium position here in the race as well. So Yanis is definitely going to be working for it here. It's 0.8 of a second right now. Finalize is doing a really good job of doing everything he can to hold off that charge, but Yanis is there. He is now looking to try and make a move here on finalized. So lap 24-25, this is for 3rd and 4th place between finalized and Yanis Racing here right now. And we are keeping our eye on what's going on up top there too as well, but it doesn't look like Sreda has really closed up any more distance on the Stig here. So we're going to stick with this 3rd and 4th place battle for the time being. Finalized does go on the defense there, and I thought Yanis might maybe take a look right there, but he didn't. Oof, and both of them sliding on the exit there, but both of them getting about a similar exit there. And again, you know, there's a tire compound difference here, so it's at some point I would suspect we're going to see Yanis be able to get around to finalize here, but his soft tires aren't looking too tidy right now either. So maybe he's struggling to find that grip in this race car at the moment. I'm not sure, or maybe he's just waiting for finalized to make a mistake. Now he's not waiting. He's going to go look up the inside here right now as we head in towards the final set of S's here on the lap, and that's going to be a move done here from Yanis Racing. Great defense there by finalized, but unfortunately for him, just on a harder tire compound here. But that does not mean that he's out of this race yet. That's for sure. All right, back up front. The Stig, so Sreda, 2.8 second gap here. Final lap for the race leader as he comes across the start-finish line. It's going to be final lap for Sreda here as well. Yanis Racing, 12 seconds back down the road here. So 3rd place is what he's looking for here now in this race. And as he comes across the start-finish line, it's going to be his final lap here with finalized in tow as well. Helix going to come across, start his final lap here. Mr. SBS not too far in behind, also going to hit his final lap. Dino and Ram Apex GT not that far behind. Just coming around Jay's corner right now is Dino. He's going to go ahead and set up his final lap here. And Ram Apex GT just coming around Jay's corner here right now as well. And he is also going to set up his final lap. Alright, so it is the Stig. 2.6 seconds. He's on the bridge. We're at the halfway point of the lap here as soon as we get around the corner. The right-hand sweeper essentially is about that midway point of this racetrack here, and halfway around our final lap here is 2.5 seconds. So Shredda's still right there. Anything were to happen, he is there to pounce. We have Yanis racing here in third. It's only a second gap on Finalize. Finalize is doing a fantastic job at really trying to challenge back for third place, but he's still got to worry about Halix chasing him behind 3.5 seconds. We're seeing Yanis peel about 3 seconds a lap up. He might be just a hair too far back to challenge there, but we'll have to wait and see. But right now the Stig, 2.5 second gap, heading towards the S's for the final time here in the latter part of this race. And he's just got a handful of corners remaining here before he takes a race win home today here in round number 4 at Beer Racing League. So, there we go, 1 to go. We got 1 corner remaining here for the Stig, and we've seen this corner break hearts many a times in the past. And ooh, he gets it almost wrong there, but it's going to be a race win there for R-Lab or Esports. The Stig, great race by him. Strategy worked out perfectly for him. So Shredda's going to bring it home here in second place. Good effort there, but not quite enough to reel in the Stig. And Yanis Racing, good fight here. He's going to manage to bring home third place. He's just going to hold off Finalize in behind on those worn out soft tires. Finalize going to bring it home and to hold off fourth place on those racing hard tires. Halix was coming, and he's going to take that 5th place home here today. Mr. SBS going to finish right in behind in 6th place, and Dino going to finish just in behind here as well in 7th position. So great job here by all our drivers today on the racetrack, and 2 of our drivers unfortunately retired here for the race today. And we got Ram Apex GT coming across start finish line. Could be 8th place finish there for him. And T-Spap and Lucas 369 are going to be DNFs, having to put the cars in behind the walls for whatever reasons that each car was having a problem with. So it was an equipment malfunction for Lucas. T-Spap, we're not sure what was going on with his car, but unfortunate both those drivers having to park it for the day today. But hey, that's the way it goes. It happens. Well, that was a feisty little race too, wasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Let me tell you what, these drivers, they sure know how to put on a show. Absolutely great racing by Division 2. Ugh. Nice job, Shred. Nice job. It's tough racing out there. It's tough racing out there. Well, the Stig had a good strategy. They played a reverse strategy on the field, and yeah, well, it worked out good for the one anyway. Yeah, the hards are. That was a good run, dude. That was a good run, man. That really was. That really was. You almost held it off. Almost held him off. Alright, GG's to all our drivers. We just want to make sure we get some results saved here. Congratulations to R-Lab Esports, the Stig, for his race victory here in round number 4. So it is going to be the Stig with the race win. It's going to be Sir Shredda in second place. He's going to take fastest lap point here today. Yanis Racing in third, finalized in 4th. Halix in 5th. Mr. SBS in 6th. Dino in 7th. Apex GT in 8th place. T-Spap in 9th. And Lucas 369 in 10th place. Both those drivers having to retire their cars here today. Highly unfortunate, but it's the way it goes sometimes. That's just the way it goes sometimes. All right, that was a great job by our Div 2 racers here today. Best finish of the season. That was a great race. That was a great race, dude. That was a good race. Yeah, no, you had a great race today. You look good out there all day, man. Look good out there all day. All right, now again, podium interviews are not a mandatory thing. It's if the drivers opt to come in and talk if they want to or not. So we would have the Stig, Yanis, and Sreda available for interviews if they choose to do so today. If not, it is quite all right. In the meantime, we're just gonna get set up for our Division 1 race here as well. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles here. So that was a great strategy there from our race winner, the Stig. Now, the R-Lab Esports guys, they all jumped into pit lane right at the end of lap 1, got off the hard tire right off the bat, jumped onto some medium tires, had a nice little two-stop strategy rolling there. Didn't quite work out for the 3 drivers on the team as far as winning a race position goes, but the Stig most certainly had that strategy fine-tuned and dialed in today, and end result, great race win for him. So Sreda had great pace, but got within about 2.5 seconds of the Stig there on that final stint and just couldn't quite reel him in. So the pace difference between the 2 drivers so close that they're just it wasn't able to gain that time back in on him there. And Yanis racing there too with a great come through there right at the end of the race to overtake, finalize there, and secure the final podium spot there today as well. So I mean, that was tough racing out there. Very tough racing out there. Conditions are not simple. The track is hot, which means the tires are going to wear a little bit quicker, obviously, due to that as well, because the track is a little bit warmer. That was just an all-out dogfight there. At one point in the race, there that third, fourth, fifth, sixth place battle in the middle of the race was just absolutely crazy, insane. A great job by the drivers here in Division 2 again as well. Division 3 always sets the standard. Division 2 seems to find a way just to take it up a little bit more of a notch, and Division 1 always seems to really take it up one more notch from that yet. So Division 1 race should be quite interesting here at St. Croix B. And again, this is our top tier A plus. Some of our S drivers here in the Gran Turismo 7 racing circuits. I mean, these are very high rated DRSR racers. They're very, very fast. And St. Croix B is a fast racetrack, so we're going to see these guys put some crazy times down, and we're going to see some pretty crazy racing, I think, in our Division 1 showdown here today. That is for sure. All right, so in the meantime, we'll sit here, we'll hang out with y'all. How you guys liking the racing action here so far today? It has been pretty intense. All right, good time for us to go check out everything, make sure everything's still moving properly. We had some audio dips on Facebook. That doesn't surprise me. Kick has been looking pretty good, solid here today. Again, I'm new to the platform. I don't know much about it yet. We got a lot of learning to do over there, but YouTube is YouTube. YouTube rocks. All right, so we are just setting up for our Div 1 race here. I'm keeping my eye on that podium booth just in case we do have a driver pop in, but I'm not seeing anybody coming in here today, and that's, you know what, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So we're just waiting for our race official to get the next lobby up. We'll jump into that lobby, and then we'll get ready to do some racing here. So welcome in, everybody. Hope we're all having a great day. It's Sunday. It means the end of the weekend is here, and that means that, well, you know, that means we all have to go back to work tomorrow because it's Monday, and, you know, that makes us all sad. But then we remember we got Pure Racing League to watch all day long Sunday, and then we're smiling again. So it's all good in the hood. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us, and I appreciate that support. If you haven't done so already, if you wouldn't mind liking and sharing the stream out for us, a couple free things you can do. It takes about 15 seconds. Really appreciate it, and it just helps us grow. And if you love the content, hit the subscribe button down below or the follow, depending on the platform you're watching. Turn on all your live notifications. You'll never miss another great action moment from Pure Racing League. So, our Division 1 race is next up on our docket here today. It's going to be our final race of the evening from Pure Racing League. And we're just waiting for our track officials to go out and get the track into racing conditions. So, we've just had two divisions going tear up St. Croix B here. The track officials got to get the tracks out. They got to get the sweepers out. They got to, you know, remove some of the marbles on the track. They're going to be checking for debris. They're going to be, you know, just making sure that the safety of the racetrack is in order for the final division here. They're going to be checking track barriers, tire walls, all those kinds of things to make sure that the safety of the drivers is of the utmost importance. Once they've cleared the track safe for qualifying, then they will send the drivers out to do their qualifying run. Now, in Division 3 and Division 2, we're used to seeing a 10-minute qualifying run. We do things a little bit differently here in Division 1. Division 1 gets 5 minutes. It's designed to essentially be a one-lap, hot lap qualifier. They'll get probably 2 here today, but by that second hot lap is kind of when your tires are starting to finally get to optimal temperature in a sense. So that is probably going to be the fast flying lap we're going to see from this group today. But who knows with these guys? These guys are some of the best in the business right now when it comes to GT7 racing, and we're about to see why. You're all good, Steve. It's all good, brother. I appreciate you, my guy. Again, it's just filler for in between the races more than anything else. Alright, so this Lexus, it is a beast of a machine of a race car. It has a huge amount of low-end torque in it, so it's really easy to overpower these cars on exit of any corner. You have to really kind of relegate your RPM. You got to manage that RPM. Maybe use a higher gear on exit if you're running a little too much RPM into the corner, so you don't lose the back end of the car on the exit. We've seen a lot of sideways exits in the first 2 races here today, and that's just the guys trying to get the power to bite the track surface. And on these harder compound tires, these hard and medium tires, sometimes they just don't want to grab the road surface, and we've seen a lot of that in the first 2 divisions today with those wiggles and those little slides. So it's going to be interesting to see what Division 1 puts down for us here next as well. And what are we looking at for time here? We're quite somehow still on schedule. That's really impressive, actually. I do believe we have a couple of drivers in our Division 1 race that were also partaking in that Daytona 24-hour race that just finished up here this morning as well. So, yeah, there's probably going to be some pretty wore-out racers up in our Division 1 race here today as well. track officials are really taking a look at the track here right now. They're really taking a good, long, hard look at the condition of the track after 2 races have gone by on it. Obviously, again, you know, super hot track conditions here today as well. So they're just want to make sure that everything is as safe and again, ready for these drivers as it can be here at St. Croix. Okay. I'm just, sorry. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I was just reading some information from our race control officials here, and there's a discussion going on about the Division 1 race today. And we may have a Division 1 cancellation today, I think, is what we're seeing here. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. What we can do is turn up the music a little bit for you guys and gals. And we'll get this sorted out. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize as I get this sorted out. The stream might crash here anyways. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that is most certainly the word coming from race control. We are going to be canceling our Division 1 race this week due to unsafe track conditions. Alright, so there was an issue in one of the races where one of the track barriers was hit really hard. It did some severe damage to the track barrier, and our race control safety crew has deemed the racetrack unsafe to race for the remainder of our day today. So with that being said, we're not going to see a Division 1 race today. So what is going to happen is race control has made the call that the drivers are going to get a free drop round from Division 1 for round number 4. And round number 5 will go scheduled in 2 weeks' time. So on behalf of Pure Racing League, I do apologize to our viewers. On behalf of the Division 1 drivers as well, they do apologize that there is no race today. But safety comes first, ladies and gentlemen, and it's always the most important thing here for our racing community, our drivers, and everybody involved behind the scenes. It's taken very seriously. We appreciate the honesty from our track officials. And unfortunately, we're not going to have a Div 1 race tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? We still had 2 great races with Division 3. and Division 2. They put on, as always, an amazing show for everybody at home and or at work or wherever it is you're watching from, and really give us something to talk about. The standings are tightening up in Division 3 without a question of a doubt. Division 2, I think it's getting quite a bit tight too. We're seeing different race winners. We're seeing different podium finishers each round of racing here in this GT3 championship. So with that being said, a great job by our Division 3 and Division 2 racers here today. Things are getting tight in that championship battle for the final 2 rounds of the season. We got a bunch of chat coming in. Let's catch up with our chat here. Hands down to the funniest sim racing statement I've ever heard. Absolutely loving it. Cheers, Lucas. You like that? I thought it was good. All right, guys and gals, we appreciate y'all. On behalf of Pure Racing League, thank you so much for tuning in today. It was a fun day of racing today, and we'll be back next week for our Masters Series at 6 p.m. Eastern Time here, live on GT45 Gaming, Facebook, YouTube, and Kick channels as well. So if you enjoyed the broadcast today, you're definitely going to come along and check out the Masters Series next weekend. It is a nation-style cup racing series. We use different cars and some pretty crazy track combinations for these drivers, and it is not for the faint of heart when it comes to the racers. So it makes for some great entertainment every single weekend. We appreciate y'all. We're going to be back live here in a couple hours time, so don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen, because we got some more fun coming for you here from GT45 Gaming later this evening. We appreciate y'all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the reactions, the comments, and the streams. Don't forget to share and like this bad boy out if you haven't done so already. If you have, we appreciate you. You're super legends. I'm trying to crank this out because my stream is warning me it is going to crash. So if I lose you all of a sudden, that is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It is struggling right now for some reason. So maybe things happen for a reason, you know. It's kind of funny how that works sometimes, right? You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. Great job here from our Pure Racing League. Congratulations to our top 3 finishers, TT Reyes, Junior, Petrolhead, and oh, come on, Ghost. Where's your head today? Lone Wolf Racing. My apologies to Lone Wolf Racing. I just absolutely lost me. So TT Rise Jr. with the Division 3 win today. Fastest lap, Red Petrolhead second place, and Lone Wolf Racing here in third. We move down to our Division 2 guys here. Absolutely great racing from them as well. It's going to be the Stig in first place. It's going to be Shredder Knight in second with the 207.2 fast lap, and Yanis Racing taking third place. Finalized with his best race finish of the season and almost held on to that third place with those hard tires at the end. Had big, bold strategy coming from him there, and it almost paid off for him today. So great racing by those two. Huge battles, massive outside passes, massive inside passes. We've seen some heartbreak moments. We've seen a lot of different things here today from Pure Racing League, and it made for a great entertaining afternoon of racing. But it all comes to an end at some point, right? I mean, the cars at some point got to get fixed. They got to get sorted out. They need that maintenance, and right now is the time. So the crews, they're going to get these cars on the trucks. They're going to get them to the airports. They're going to get them loaded up off to the next destination around the world for our racing series. They get them into the paddocks, and they start working. And they get these cars all liquored up. They get them all stickered up. They get them all shining. And they get them ready for the next round of racing. So much love to the racers, the administration staff, and league officials behind the scenes for making everything happen. Our stewarding officials as well. Not an easy job. They've got a very tough job. And thank you to everybody viewing at home, the men, the women, and all the children coming here showing support every single time we go live with sim racing content. We appreciate y'all. Remember, you all matter. Don't be scared to reach out. There's always somebody in this community that is willing to be there to do what we can to help. Just reach out. You're not alone. Don't handle it alone. If you're struggling, you have friends. You have family in the sim racing community. Reach out. We've got you. Stay winning. And we'll catch you on the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Ciao for now.